This episode is brought to you by Draggin Bags. Because they're the best bags in the world, they made us throw great this past weekend, and the sex appeal is only getting sexier over at Draggin Bags. Let me tell you, designs are on point. Every bag throws amazing. We threw the Charlies. Very excited about the My Bags. I'm telling you, they're onto some stuff. So head over to dragginbags.com and pick up your stuff today. Get that extra sauce. Drop code BIGASP12 at checkout. It's going to save you some money. So again, head over to dragginbags.com, drop code BIGASP12, and it's time to get after it.
Welcome to the Big Ass Cornhole Show with Sean and Dane, the hosts you know, talking cornhole life and random fun. Grab a beer, let's get it done. From tossing bags to let's wild ride, tune in and join the party, don't you hide. It's the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast time with Sean and Dane. It's always prime. With Sean is done.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast. Sean and Dane are with you as always. What's going on, man?
Not too much. I'm disappointed I didn't have it queued up, but
I was kind of waiting. I was looking something up, and then I saw your hand flopping.
And I was like, oh, I mean, we could have just paused it and just kept going, but it's okay. It ain't no thing. But yeah, dude, we got to throw some bags and stuff, so we have some things that we need to get into today.
We do. Before we do anything else, though, obviously let the folks know what we're sipping on tonight in our favorite segment called "What You Drinking."
What you drinking?
Well, I stumbled across this beer, pun intended, at the liquor store called Stumbleberry from Fatheads. So this is the newer and improveder Bumbleberry.
Oh, okay.
It's this one's 9%, and it's a blueberry imperial ale.
Okay.
So a little bit darker, a little bit heartier.
Yeah.
But 9%. The first time I ever had this was at a Guardians game in a 32-ounce can. Who serves that kind of beer in a 32-ounce?
It seems a little bit ridiculous.
Dude, it was excessive.
Yeah, because you can't drink it
I
fast
caught
enough
a buzz.
let's get warm.
And I caught a buzz off finishing that thing, and I'm like, oh, this is so dangerous. But anyways, at home, though, delightful treat. Like, can't go wrong. So,
very true.
Fatheads Stumbleberry if you're just looking to get rocked real quick.
Hell yeah. All right, so we have a busy episode this week. All right, we're going to bring you plenty of audio gold. This is kind of like a big week, right, in the cornhole world for ACL.
Everything's about to pop off, Sean.
I mean, everything we've been waiting for. So we're going to, at the end of the episode, like the second half, we're going to go over the brackets, right? We're going to break down who we think is going to do well, what we're kind of watching for, what we're hoping for. We're going to go over teams. It's going to be a whole bunch of like ACL extravaganza stuff at the end as we prepare. If you're listening to this on Wednesday, just the next day kicks off everything. I think the singles and doubles and all that stuff will be like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But it's an exciting time to see kind of like who's going to pop off. So,
I love when people pop off, Sean.
Yes, we're obviously going to recap our weekends, and then we have a few dramatic readings as well.
What would an episode be without some dramatic readings?
All right. So before we get into anything else, we're going to let you know what's going on in our lives in a segment we call In and Around the Hole.
Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
All right, so I sound like hot garbage because I'm getting too old for this shit, man, apparently. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, okay, so we had a little quick trip out to Amarillo, Texas this past weekend.
That we did.
And it was at the third annual Melissa Lambert scholarship tournament. And I want to say that there's not many people or area, like, just groups of cornhole people, like in the community we've met, that I would go travel. Total trip 31 hours, right? I felt like I was in more time in either an airport or an airplane than I was at the venue. But for those people, like, just great. I love our Texas crew down there.
Hell
like,
yeah.
It's just great people. The hospitality was outstanding. I thought the venue that it was at in Amarillo
super cool.
Was super cool. It looked like it was probably for like quinceañeras and like graduation parties and all that kind of stuff. But it was I thought it was such a cool vibe. The level of play there was elevated. Again, we've seen this before. we were doing some research before we started recording, and we are just like, and this is not a shot on like our local guys, but like, oh, compared to like other regions, we kind of suck. Like on Scoreholio, that is
for sure. Yeah,
like, you look at like SPRs and stuff. Like going down there, if you're not like almost 70, like you're gonna have some tough sledding most days.
Yeah, and honestly, like most of the people are in the 70s. It's crazy.
So we so Saturday morning we woke up. Well, we drove to the airport at 3:30 in the morning. We get for the most part, the travel down there, we could not have asked for much better.
Yeah, it was pretty
both times
easy.
We had no one sitting next to us.
Yes.
And the second flight from Dallas to Amarillo might have been one of the nicer planes I'd ever been on before.
Yeah.
It was just really comfortable. We get down there and we realize that Uber in certain parts of the world is just astronomically expensive.
It's
for a
expensive.
15-minute drive down the road to the venue. It was going to cost us $180. $180 for like a 15-minute trip. So instead, I got to give you credit. You were the one that came up with it. You're like, fuck it, let's go rent a car.
I knew it was going to be cheaper for just
got a car
one
for
day.
$88.
Like,
You know what I mean? Done. Like we're just driving 15 minutes down the road. So yeah, we got there to the venue, checked it out, and then we ended up playing.
Which is always nice. Love to play, Sean. Literally arrived there, and they're like, hey, look, we got to scan you in because the brackets are going live. We're like, well, okay.
Oh, yeah, sweet.
Here we go.
I always say I need to play in these tournaments to like remind myself how much I love it again.
Yeah.
Because, when you just talk about it and you don't get to play that much, you lose a little something for it. But then when you go play again, it was like it couldn't have timed it any better. Right before the first national of the year, like I play in a tournament, I get all fired up for it again. And you just realize that like, oh man, like if I want to be better at this, you have to practice. Like when you're playing against people that are playing 3 to 5 nights a week, it's a muscle memory thing, 100%.
For sure.
And
especially with certain shots.
Stats showed that throughout the night. Like I sucked in the beginning, like bad. And then as the night went on, PPR started going up, started doing well. But overall, I thought we played pretty well.
Yeah, honestly, for the first time us playing as partners, we weren't disappointing. I mean,
No.
we got
we came out of the bat right away, 2-0. I mean, like very quickly, playing very well, like those first 2 games. And then games 3 and 4 played some better teams. I did not have my best stuff. I kind of fell apart, especially in game 3. But overall, like I thought we played pretty well. And then in the bracket play, we ended up taking 7th at like 40 teams. So like I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, we won some games. I mean, that's all I can say.
It's never like pretty. Like we're always battling back.
Oh yes,
like we're always
never have a cushy lead. And if we do have a cushy lead, we're gonna give it up.
I want to say almost every game that we played, I put us in like a 5 to 7 point hole every match.
But like
in the first round,
I'm so used to it because I'm very much the same way. Like I'm just like, it is what it is. Like
the way I
click,
I would have a bad round every once in a while, but I was just trying to be better at just forgetting about it, right? Just be positive. You had one bad round. It's a long game, right?
Yeah.
They're going to have a bad round too. They're still like at your level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
you just got to weather the storm.
Yeah. And then when it's also fun to watch your opponent get frustrated when they're like, oh, I thought he sucked. And then all of a sudden you lock in and you can't miss again. And you're like,
you're very much a guy that like, if you can get that,
I'm a
momentum.
I'm a momentum guy. I'm locked in. Yeah. And I thrive off an opponent's miss.
Yeah.
If they have first bag and they miss it on either side, like in my head, I'm like, it's go time. Like I'm putting all 4 bags in the hole because I have something to like, I don't know why. It's like a depth perception thing, I think, with me. It's like I have something to aim at. Yep, and I'm good.
Yeah.
But a lot of the people that were playing, they don't miss their first bag, or they're doing a fantastic job of putting a first bag blocker
right in front.
Now, we started the day off playing with the Charlies.
Yeah.
A broken in, buttery set of Charlies. I've said before on the show, it is a fuller bag. With my new grip, I like a fuller bag. I feel like I can get the bag to do what I need it to do. I can get it to go left to right a little bit. I can get it to go right to left a little bit. I'm not a roll guy.
Yeah.
But like I felt like I could throw a bag straight and just run bags if I needed to. Like I felt comfortable with the speed of the bags. The problem is with a bag like that, my PPR was actually like low in some of those early games during round robin. And I was thinking back, I'm like, I felt like I threw well. Like I felt like I was throwing the bag straight. I had some of those rounds where I was getting a point 4 to 3 because all 4 of my bags just like bunched up in the hole.
Yeah, but sometimes a point's a point, man.
It is 100%.
You can get.
Now we were through round robin, felt like we were playing well. And then Dan Lambert, right, owner of Draggin Bags, comes over and he's like, hey, we're going to be dropping a new bag soon. I just happen to have a broken in set. Why don't you guys go test them out? So I think we were messing around throwing against Bryce Forbes. Was that time? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, just
Bryce and Eason.
Yeah.
We were just kind of warming up, just testing out the bags. And I was throwing really well. Like, I was just fucking around with Bryce a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, anytime I had a bar soap opportunity, I was going for it. It's phenomenal, dude. Like, and I knew he was messing with me, but he kept putting like blockers down. And I'm like, he's like, you can't bar soap this. And I did like 3 in a row. And I'm like, listen, you have no idea. Like, those are the only 3 I'm going to hit all year, mind you. He's like, well, it looks like you're pretty good with these bags. So I looked at you. I'm like, I want to play with these. I need a bag that's just a little more friendly than what the Charlies were, just because I suck. Yeah. I need all the drip factor I can get. And the new bags called My Bags, the new series coming out, is right up my alley. It's like a nice happy medium full wise between the Power Dragon and Charlie's. And the speed is great. And once I locked in throwing slick side, I was great. But then we played in a blind draw later.
Yeah.
And my partner threw Power Dragons. And then I think I threw the best I did all night with the Power Dragons. And I'm like, oh, now this, again, I'm back to a Power Dragon guy, I guess. Like, I just don't know. Maybe it just means the Draggin Bags across the board are really good.
Just making great bags, really didn't matter. To bottom.
But like, I threw 3 different series, and a guy that doesn't ever go out and throw, like, that could be super detrimental.
Yeah.
But I played very consistent with all 3 bags.
But I think it helps because you don't throw that often. So you're not expecting to know what the bag's going to do anyway. So. Correct. You know, you can go out there and throw whatever the hell you want. It's not going to make a difference. It's
nice to be able to like manipulate a bag a little bit more. Again, with me not playing very much, I have 0 airmail anymore. Like, I just don't have the touch. So like every time I'd shoot, like I hit like 2 or 3, but it was always like we didn't need to hit it at the time. But anytime I need it, I'm always short. It's just like I'm always so afraid to go long off the bag. I just don't have a feel for it right now. But yeah, I love playing. It's fun. I tried to go in there with just like this is a charity tournament. We're here to have fun. Let's just do it as much as we can. And the hospitality around there is awesome.
It is.
The looks we get when people were like, hey, where are you guys from? I'm like, we're actually from Cleveland, Ohio.
What the hell are
like, you here on business? I'm like, well, yeah, we flew in this morning. They're like, you flew in this morning for this? I'm like, yeah.
Big deal. Big money on the table that we were never going to win. But
big payouts. So what payouts. I think, so we were talking to the guys that run it, one of them being Tom Lambert, and we kind of pitched them this idea, like, I really think you got to get rid of this, like, no 2 pros together.
Yes.
Especially if you guys have it the same weekend, right before the first national of the year, you're going to get a decent amount of pros that will travel as a tune-up tournament just for nationals.
For sure. Everyone's looking for that one destination to go play against some top-tier talent with good payouts.
With great payouts.
It's hard to find that close to the ACL season. So
free beer?
Dude, right?
Like, are you serious right now?
Yeah.
When I heard that announcement that there was free beer, I'm like, well, what do you mean free beer?
Like, until they ran out. Like, we tried our hardest.
Listen, we did our part.
Yeah, we definitely did our part.
I don't think there's any Coors Light or Coors Banquet at the end of the night, because that's pretty much what we were drinking.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Coors. I mean,
if you want to sponsor the show.
You don't see that very often.
No, man,
this
it's
way.
good.
I do love a Coors Banquet, man.
It is.
But yeah, it was just ripping Coors. Had one Keystone Light mixed in there.
Hey, that started off the. But yeah, it was a great night. It was a great time. So we took 7th in our like the bigger bracket.
Yeah.
And then we ended up doing the blind draw, which I did not think I was going to do. I'm like, I'm going to be good.
I was happy as shit though, because I drew a partner I actually liked for the day.
Yeah.
You know,
and you play with Brandon Perez.
Got Brandon Perez, aka Maverick. Him and I partnered up last year in the tournament. So that's great. It was cool that we got to play again with each other, and we did all right. We ended up taking 9th, only losing to you.
Yeah, both times.
We lost to you twice.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Which pissed me off because I actually looked at my stats. I'm like, I didn't throw bad.
You didn't.
It just wasn't good enough.
No.
So, yeah, did we?
I threw well against Brandon.
You did, yeah. And we never threw against each other in that situation.
And I think it was not on purpose. I think it was the whole thing all day. Me and you decided
were throwing up.
I want to just throw the same direction. I don't care if I'm armed inside or outside.
Yeah.
Just depth perception wise, I thought it was going to be better for me.
I felt like the boards were a little different on each end. Like one set was a little bit slower. The other ones
obviously
were a little bit
they had West Georgia boards, and then they had like BG boards.
Yeah.
The West Georgia boards were definitely slower than the other ones.
They were slower, and those weren't the X factors.
They were not.
Bouncing.
They were bouncing.
The first game that we threw on those together in rounders, like I was bouncing bags like a foot, and I'm like, I can't bounce a bag ever.
Well, and I knew we were screwed as soon as I came over, and these kids were throwing center cornhole, right? And they were throwing the greens, which is a sticky ass carpet. And I saw the kid throw his first bag down, and it was like he threw it 80 miles an hour, perfectly flat, spinning, and it just hopped. And I'm like, I look at you, I'm like, it's not gonna be good.
It's gonna be bad.
Not gonna be good. And all day, and this was before I felt comfortable throwing slick side with a Charlie, and everything was just bunching up, and he could just roll over it. And I was such a pussy. I'm like, I'll shoot an airmail, but like, it's not going in. Like, I just know. Like, it's
that's great confidence, Sean.
Yeah,
gotta believe.
I was trying, but yeah. So in the blind draw, I got partnered up with Big Tom. Good. He's a competitive level player. He just recently won competitive at like I think the Arizona Open. So he was out there. Really nice dude. Really solid player. Like very, very solid player.
Good, yeah.
Has a unique kind of throw, but it worked very well. Knew exactly where the bag was going. He could kind of get the bag to kick either direction he wanted to. And I don't know the first time you played him, if you told him something about me, but his way of talking to me after we played you guys the first time was completely different.
Yeah, definitely told him.
Because he was trying to be like nice and positive, and after that, he completely switched, and he's like, dude, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
And that motivated me. I'm like, you know what? You're right.
I told him, I'm like, you gotta be like harsh with him. He likes to be berated a little bit.
He was. I could totally tell he changed that next game.
Gotta give people a little
we
pep
apologized
talk.
after that. Like we won the game after that. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm like, no, dude, like that's fine. Like I need to hear it sometimes. Like if I started throwing everything short, just tell me to suck it up and stop being a bitch. Like sometimes I need to hear that. Yeah. But I think me and Tom ended up taking 7th. We lost the game after we played you guys.
Yeah. But nice runs. I mean,
it was fun.
Got a bunch of wins
I
under
didn't
the
give
belt.
a shit what I did. Yeah, I mean,
my
I just wanted to go and
jumped
play.
up 4 rounds, so I was very 4 points. So
you guys
happy.
took down the doubles champion, Bryce Forbes.
Did yes,
right? That was nice.
Beat him in the blind draw, and it was a handled victory. He was throwing some crazy.
Oh, for sure.
I think they were Apex bags.
Yes. So in the main tournament.
Yeah, speaking of good cornhole.
Ethan Walker and Bryce Forbes take down the event. I want to say in the finals. Now, again, I didn't get to watch all their games. We've raved before about Ethan Walker, how great the guy is. But in the finals, on that main broadcast court, the star of the game had to be Bryce Forbes.
Yes.
The kid was just, and especially in that final game, he started off, I want to say, the first like 13 or 14 rounds with a perfect PPR.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a pretty just like stroking bag after bag after bag. I mean, he was blocking and then 3-bag push at the end, or a roll collect or hidden airmail. And this kid throws a line drive airmail, nose down. So any bag he leaves as a block, like a front bag blocker,
knifes it in.
Yeah, he just kind of just like drags it on top, scoots it along in, and it drags it.
It's nuts.
It's crazy.
I mean, it only further confirms my concerns.
Okay.
About these elite guys going into this bracket, man.
They're trouble, brother.
We saw like 4 of them in this thing that I'm like, any one of these kids could walk in and win singles at an ACL tournament with the right draw and a little bit of luck. I mean, it's disgusting, man.
Yeah, I think you said it. It's actually, you literally took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Because I was going to talk about like that exact point. I think that it to me it shows like how impressive Jeremiah Ellis was the first 2 nationals, how impressive Mark Richards has been, and guys like Jamie Graham, where every year they just seem to fucking get it done.
Yes,
we know that there is about 100 people in the ACL now that could probably win a national
for sure.
It seems like, I mean, if we're weeding out some and then including some of the elite players, I mean, Zach Aiken, we didn't even mention him yet.
I know.
He's a fucking stud, too.
Absolutely disgusting.
I think that Bryce Ford's playing so well, might have gotten in his head a little bit, but he still played phenomenally well, too. And the kid could win anything.
Spencer Fabianer. Disgusting. The kid's phenomenal.
I think that, yeah, I completely agree, man. I think it makes it more impressive to me of the pros that keep doing it year after year. But yeah, these elite people coming in, if you're a top seed, you do not want to see a Bryce Forbes. You do not want to see a Cash Chamness, a Mason Trader. You don't want a Zach Aiken. You do not want to see these motherfuckers the first round.
Yeah.
If you're a pro already, right? You've earned your stripes. You're in the league. You didn't have to do the elite program or anything. You don't want to see it. But we're going to see it.
It's going to be nasty, man.
Now, the one thing I'm going to be interested in, so right now it's Monday, right? So we're recording this first part Monday. We're going to come back to, because the brackets are getting released at midnight tonight to the players.
Yeah.
And us. Right. So we're gonna get the brackets. We're gonna look at them. I want to see, I don't think that there's a limit in like how many junior players are getting in there.
I haven't seen any of the rules.
Like I think they're going by elite standings.
We're going to see, which is going to be a lot of juniors.
Each open that was there, if you finished a certain position, you automatically qualified to go into like the pro event kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested to see how many elite players get in, but I think it's something like 12 to 16 of them are getting in, and they're all problems.
Every last one of them. It's going to be disgusting.
Because you look, I don't know if you paid attention, ACL dropped a graphic today, and it was like there's currently 11 players tied at first place.
Yes.
Through Open and everything.
And then Rich Chamness corrected him, saying that he left off 2. Trey Birchfield and Cash Chamness were 12 and 13, all tied in as well.
But has Cash won in Open?
They said that they were all tied. So I
all right,
know.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm not
That's
really
just
sure
what
how
they said on the comment, but I did see the graphic, and yes.
Any 13 of those guys like could end up playing an elite player.
Yes.
Like that's crazy.
It's trouble, dude. It sucks for them.
But if they get through that first game, maybe it'll make it a little easier.
Yeah.
But gone are the days where the top seed seems like it's so at this point, you might as well just do a random draw, right?
Or is it better to just face those guys off like right in the beginning so they don't get hot and find their groove?
I think you can make it. It depends on what kind of player you are.
True.
If you're somebody that wants a
well,
little,
you're a pro. You better show up and
you would think
put it on the table.
Yeah.
First game, bring the sauce every time.
And again, we all see how good these kids are. It could just be that they're better than you that day.
Yes, it's very true.
I mean, it can happen. So,
or they're just better than.
in second place, and the finals was great. Won 3 games. Gavin Cano and Zach Aiken looked like they were going to be the team to take it all, run away with it. And I was kind of excited. I'm like, listen, Gavin Cano is going to win this thing. He's going to have a little momentum boost, winning a tournament, going into nationals, and then they fall short a little bit.
Yes.
So, and I'm not the Gavin played very, very well. Like handled Ethan for the most part throughout the game. That's what I was saying. It was really Bryce that kind of carried them like over because him and Ethan were battling. And he happened to post a clip up when we were talking about it, like calling the match, and it was disgusting.
Dude, they were playing the proest level cornhole you can possibly see pros play.
Every bag thrown with like direct intention of what they wanted it to do.
Yes, and it was just masterful watching those 2 tacticians face off against each other. It was very cool to watch,
and just similar, but like different stylistically enough that like it makes it entertaining to watch.
For sure. I mean, you have Ethan Walker, who has one of the best push and roll games around, and then Gavin Cano is just a master manipulator. He can just put a bag in the best spot every time at will.
He really does seem to minimize mistakes very well.
Yes, and he like little things too. Like he wants to put a wedge block in there, and he will put that thing perfectly in that wedge,
like
and just make it that much harder. And then you had Ethan on the other side that says, "All right, you made this shot that much harder, but I'm going to clean it all up anyways," because he was that good. It was really, really good.
It was. I mean, he in the round that we're talking about, Gavin leaves a level 1 block, right? Or I'm sorry, he blocks behind a level 1 block from Ethan. Yeah. Ethan comes up the next bag and just rips an airmail drag. Like, it's just like you could see the whole round working through their head and how they're going to kind of build it.
Yep.
And it left up like where Ethan, like if I was him, I was actually pretty happy because Gavin had to airmail drag for just to wash it at the end. And like if that's the situation you're putting your opponent in all the time, it's an odds game. They're eventually going to miss and you're going to get points.
I mean, they're getting so good now, though.
It's crazy, man. Like that's why the
if you want to win a championship, you can't miss this.
We'll get back to the results in just a second. Can I just say that I was embarrassed at how sore I was the next day?
I think a lot of it attributes to that. Like we were never stagnant like that whole day either.
I literally the only time I sat was when we ate.
Exactly. Like we ran around. That's why I knew we needed to take a minute to like go sit down and eat and like just take a beat. Because literally when we walked in that door, we were nonstop.
No.
On the go, like shaking hands, kissing babies, having a blast. And I'm like, all right, well, now we have a moment of like just a moment.
Yeah, for
sure.
sure.
And then we had our boy Victor come over, ripped our
traditional Texas twisted tea shotgun,
little shotgun action. Then got us put right. But I understand you being sore. That's all right. You're getting old,
man. I
wouldn't say I was sore like that. I didn't feel like maybe my ankles were swollen a little bit.
It makes me more impressed that like guys like a Matt Guy can go to a national and he's not just playing and throwing the same amount of rounds that we just did.
No.
Like the collective of my rounds for the day is probably one of his games. And he's doing that like 19 times throughout the day. Mm-hmm. Like that's to me. And then he's able to wake up the next morning and go play doubles.
Yeah, it's nuts. It is nuts.
Like it is like, and this is where when people want to call it's a game, not a sport, I think you got to reconsider when it gets to the highest level and you're playing these like gauntlet of like these events and how long they are.
Marathon matches.
You do have to be somewhat athletic. I mean, you do have to take care of yourself a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, that's why certain guys, I mean, even guys like Adam Hissner, takes care of himself.
That's true. Yeah.
Able to go these long days and not get fatigued quite as easily as the average Joe out there. So, yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, I think eventually the game is going to get to the point where these guys are getting so good where, I mean, I would think that some of people in the league already have like some sort of like stretching routine or like something, but it seems like a lot of these guys are like, well, I rolled out of bed and I got here 5 minutes before the match. I threw a few bags, so let's just go.
Yep. It's time.
But if we get something like Mark Richards strikes me as a guy that is very like regimented.
Oh, he definitely wakes up, stretches, gets his whole thing.
Correct.
Sean, this is the part that I was talking about.
Yeah, I know. I hear you.
Anyways, we're just talking about the Texas Children Houston Open real quick.
We're not talking about Texas Children.
No. The Houston Open, the golf tournament.
Yeah. Shout out to Minwoo.
The
chef.
Heck yeah. But anyways, yeah, so it was, I don't know, just, yeah.
Did you forget what you were saying?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just completely just floated right off into existence.
Right out there.
You know?
So some other impressive teams throughout the weekend. You had Justin Everett and Chris Roybal. Chris's new throw is wild, but he's so fucking accurate. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's closer to what his old throw was.
100%.
So,
yes.
but
Very
now that he
loopy.
has it timed up, yeah, it's loopy, but it's pinpoint. It's pinpoint, yeah.
And he just is like, you never know if he's happy or sad.
He's
very stoic a little bit. Even like when I was trying to talk to him on the outside. I mean, he's been on the show before. Just kind of like just a little bit of a loner, just kind of quiet dude off to the side. So I respect that.
Hell yeah. I mean, do you?
But I'm not like that. So I'm going to come over and bother you and talk to you for a few minutes. Try to get something
I see
out
that
of
you're
it,
in your personal space right now. I'm going to intrude on that and let's see how things go.
Levi Haddock and Grant Upchurch took fourth, and then tied for fifth. We had Logan Chamberlain and Spencer Fabianar, and then Sammy Soto and Jackson Remick. I was super impressed. I got to see her throw in person for the first time. Caitlin Allhouse and Bella were playing together. Caitlin's the real deal. She's really, really good.
She is good. Yes.
So I think I talked to her in person. She's going to come on the show. I told her I want to get her on after the first national because I want to get her first experience was exactly how she thought she did. Super down to earth, very talented. Bella's really good too. The women's division is doing very well.
Yes.
And I was asking Bella how she was feeling, going into the season. She's like, she was nervous. I'm like, but if you every full season you put together, like pro wise, like you've always done pretty well.
Yeah,
actually.
you're always one of the top finishers.
She's tough. She's got a really good, well-rounded game, which not a lot of females have.
Yes.
Most females are, kind of a slide airmail kind of thing. But I mean, Bella and Caitlin both have all the shots.
Yeah, but I do like hearing that they're nervous.
Oh, for
Going
sure.
into it, that means that like they care.
For sure. Yeah. So Caitlin and Bella tied for seventh, and then Chase Lester and Cannon Hatcher tied seventh. And again, just like those guys took seventh in a charity tournament.
Yeah.
Just shows you the level of competition that was there.
For sure.
So, but again, shout out to all them out there. Listen, I'd never been to Amarillo before. I love driving out there.
Yes.
I said that first. Like I saw
roads, baby.
3 cars the entire time I was driving. It was awesome. But the hospitality was awesome. The food was great. Let's talk about the food for a second. You rated a burrito. I'm going to be posting this as a little video here in a minute. You rated a burrito at 9.5.
9.5, dude. It was right up there with the
good,
Spencer McKenzie level. Yeah. Little asada burrito, dude. It was so good.
Now, I had the barbacoa, which in hindsight, as soon as you ordered the asada, I should have changed it.
Should have.
I love barbacoa, but sometimes if it's just barbacoa and a burrito, it gets a little watery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It gets a little drippy.
You couldn't, mess up the beautiful Draggin Bags jersey. So I understand. Yeah, you're a mistake, but then we also got asada fries. Not asada fries, but asada fries.
Oh, you heard that right.
Yeah, those were delicious as well. So.
And then I was on the live stream.
Yep.
And I get a tap on my shoulder, and you just came over and delivered 4 delicious little tacos to me,
dude,
that were loaded with steak and I think hot dogs and bacon.
Yeah,
or
they just
whatever was in there,
and
they were
sink in those
phenomenal.
bad boys, and they were so good. So yeah, you're welcome.
It hit the spot because it was later.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean it was right before the blind draw.
Dude,
was
I
kicking
walked
off.
outside because I knew we needed to eat dinner.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And like I looked at my watch. I'm like, oh shit, like it's late. Like need to.
What time was that?
It was like 8.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, we need to like go find something, and walked outside. The last food truck was just closing down. I'm like, oh shit. And they're like, no, there's tacos inside. I'm like, all right. Went in. She's like, it's $10 for a taco platter. I'm like, what comes with it? She's like, 4 tacos. I'm like, any side or anything? She's like, nope, it's just 4 tacos, but it's a lot. I'm like, cool, give me 2.
It's a lot. Okay, sounds appropriate.
And I felt bad. The reception was so bad. I like sent her the Apple Pay text, and it like didn't come through. And she's just sitting there like looking at her phone. She tried going outside, seeing if it would come through. I'm like, it said sent on my phone. I'm like, so I know it sent you $25. Like, can I just take these? I'm trying to go on the live stream. And she's like, well, yeah, like, where are you going to be at? I'm like, I'll be up on the stage, but don't interrupt me. Like, well, yeah, while I'm on the mic, just kind of flag me down or something if it doesn't send. But like, I am seeing this text message as sent. Yeah, and that's fair. You don't have an iPhone. So, like you said, you take Apple Pay. How is this gonna? Yeah, it ended up working. So okay, I saw her later. But, anyways,
live stream was fun.
Live stream was a lot of fun.
That's my kind of live stream. You know what I mean? Like we're not actually talking every like, oh, he threw a bag. Here's the first bag blocker. It's more of just we're having a conversation as the games are going on in the background. We're commenting on what we think.
Key
and it was nice that it was mostly players that we were like pretty familiar with in the most part. So it does help a little bit. But yeah, chopped it up there. We did the semifinals and finals, I think. And then then the blind draw started and the rest was history. We ended up checking into a hotel for like 2.5 hours and then making our way to the airport. And thank God you woke me up because I was passed out.
Dude, Sean KO'd himself, like
sitting upright, leaning up against,
headphones in, just KO'd. And I'm like, all right. There's like last boarding group was on. I knew I was like going to be the last person on that plane because there's like hardly anyone there. But did you notice I made that dude move?
Which one?
So when we went to get on that plane, he was like sitting in my row.
Yeah.
And like you sat down there and I was like, I'm going to sit right here. And he's like, oh, okay. And he got up and went to the row behind me. Yeah.
Yeah. For the most part, it was very easy travels. I mean, I almost stayed for another 3.5 hours in Dallas just because they were offering like travel credit. I'm like, I could pay for our next flights down there.
Every flight we have, they offer
going
that
from
shit.
Dallas, home. Yeah, I mean,
single time.
If it wasn't 3.5 hours, and I would have probably called my wife and been like, and she would have cared. She told me before, she's like, fucking stay if they're going to give you like free travel. And
the problem is but
for how much we travel there though and use American, I would have done it. If it was Frontier, fuck no, I'm not doing it. But if it's, I mean, we fly American. But
see, United does cold hard cash, and that's the one you want.
That's great too. But again, 25 people would have jumped up for that.
Yeah,
they were begging, and I just know what it would feel like you just want to get home, and like I don't have to be home at a certain time. But I was feeling like shit. Like I'd slept for 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like I was falling asleep just like sitting. I think I fell asleep like sitting up at the bar.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean.
You did.
Yeah,
you did.
Like I was just so tired. I just needed to get home. But then I forced myself to like stay awake once I got home until that night.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. Otherwise, it's just game over. Now, I didn't. I got home and curled up in my easy chair and just took a nice like 2-hour nap. And then woke up, ate dinner, picked up the parents, and got home and then could not sleep.
That's what I didn't want to happen. That's exactly what I didn't want to happen.
I finally fell asleep around like, probably say like 10:30
because I got home.
Laying down since
I get 8. Home right,
yeah,
and it was my wife's birthday the day before, right? I literally left the day of her birthday, right?
It's because you're just a horrible person.
And we were in Disney World the week before, so like it was fine. But I get home and I had a feeling that like my brother and sister-in-law are in town, and I'm like, I just got to be on my game when I get home. You know, like if I'm gonna leave for the day, I'm not gonna answer the bell, right? Is what I like to say. And I get home and she's like, we're going to take the kids to the park. If you want to just like chill and like go like lay down or something. I think she could see on my face that like I was just like struggling a little bit. Yeah. And I told her, I'm like, no, I'm good. Like I told her, I'm like, I don't want to sleep now. Cause if I sleep now, I'm not going to.
You'll forever hold your peace.
I just know myself. Like I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be wide awake and I'm just going to be miserable. And I had a really busy day today at work. So I ended up falling asleep at like 8:30 and then slept pretty much straight through till my alarm went off. It was pretty
terrific.
Wrong
with that.
Yeah. Pretty terrific. But it was a great trip. It's something I definitely want to go back to next year.
Yes. Yeah, it needs to be like
as long as they're going to keep having us. Like I would love to keep going. It was a phenomenal trip. Like I said, the food was awesome. The venue was really cool. The level of competition is just outrageous. Next year we'll try to plan it so that like we're not leaving at the crack of dawn. But flying out of Amarillo makes it a little tougher.
Yeah, but maybe we get down there. Fly with our clubs, play some golf, like plan it accordingly next time. Not have a trip to Florida like 2 weeks prior, just. Yeah. I mean, we might have to though, because that could be a yearly thing.
I know a lot of people when we were down there were asking, "Are you guys going to go to the Signature Series in Texas?" Unfortunately, Dane and I already have a prior engagement that weekend. That's the first event that we're going to for that major golf association.
Yes.
So we're already kind of penciled
mediocre golf association.
I'm sorry. Yes, mediocre
so it's
golf.
Not a major thing at all.
Yeah. So just doing that. We would like to get to one of the signature events. There's a possibility we might go to the one in Utica. I got to look up to see how far of a drive that's going to be.
I think I'm for sure going to go to Worlds, I think.
You are going to go? Okay.
Yeah, like I'll find the way to get out there.
Unfortunately, I will be traveling. Like, let's start my 2-week beach vacation like that.
Yeah,
weekend,
I don't know.
so
I looked at my the amount of vacation I still have left, like with everything else that I've booked, and I'm like, dude, I still have like 14 days.
Okay.
So, and that's including like a week off for the lake, week off for the Cape. Like it's a lot. Of shit in there, so I'm
just coming up events. Like I know we have like the Ohio Interstate event. It's like April 26th, like that weekend. So I have all day Saturday. I'll be there.
Yeah.
But besides that, like it's just gonna be summertime and it's just tough to travel right now. You know, my kids are gonna be starting sports. I'm coaching baseball again, and but I don't think I'm gonna make it to Worlds. But I think I'm gonna try to make it out to the Clash.
Yes, you should, because I cannot. Unfortunately, that's the exact same day as a family wedding in Colorado.
So Reggie, when you listen to this, just hit me up. Just let me know the dates again, because I think that might be the
I think
move.
it's September 21st.
Is that weekend?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and I know. And the other question I get a message a lot: are you guys going to Spencer's? I had a fucking blast in Spencer's, but it's also really expensive for us to travel out there.
Yeah,
and
we're big, like we're big fat guys, so like we got to eat a lot too.
It's not even that. It's just like it's just an expensive trip. So it's just like, to me, it's not an every year thing for us. It's probably like an every
honestly,
other year.
Like it would lose its luster to me if I go every year.
Correct.
Like to me, that's kind of like the the cherry on top, like our reward for doing it. For maybe in 5 years we'll go back. Who knows?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
just
true.
Be like the 5-year anniversary. We go back there and go kick it. Because honestly, like that's fun and everything, but like the access that we have to everybody at something like this charity tournament, that's the stuff I like going to.
Great.
That's just cornhole. Like everyone's there having a good time. Like
that's why the game is still cool right now. Like when you're first getting into it.
Yes.
Because like if you get into baseball or basketball, you're not gonna just go to like an open gym where like LeBron's walking around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you could go to it and like you see a whole bunch of ACL or ACO pros that walking around, you know what I mean? So it's very cool. So like that a lot. It was nice to see, pretty much most of our like the best Texas pros were there. The ones that would like travel.
JBJ wasn't there.
JBJ wasn't there. AJ Sims wasn't there. Like Eddie G wasn't there.
Yeah.
But it's a crowd that typically rolls.
The TCL crew
correct.
rolled pretty deep through there, so love to see that.
Hell yeah.
They just put on a great tournament. So kudos again. Like Wolfpack Charities, you guys put on a great event. Look forward to it next year.
You want to do the dramatic readings, and we'll go into the bracket stuff?
Yeah, we can do that.
Let's do that.
In a world where bean bags have brought men to their knees, social media serves as sanctuary for keyboard warriors. Time for the dramatic readings.
Addicted to cornhole. What do we have here? Nick Mutes.
You go with it.
I don't understand why I can go to any sporting goods store and there's a great selection of good quality golf balls, clubs, tees, shoes, everything you could need to play golf. But I can't go to a store and have a good quality bag and a good selection. No, we have to order them online. Why wouldn't you mass produce your product? This makes no sense to me. Can someone enlighten me why this is?
I think one of the first things that comes to my head is that if you're comparing it right to golf stuff right away,
yes.
I mean, there's like millions of people that play golf. There's only like maybe 100,000 people that are playing cornhole. You know what I mean? Like, I think the numbers are way skewed, one. And then two, it's just like, again, most of the cornhole companies are like mom and pop shops. It's way too expensive to go to the big box stores.
Exactly.
Like, it just doesn't happen like that.
You don't just, you can't just hand them a bunch of bags and be like, put these on your shelves. And
like, you don't think if it was profitable for the ACL to have like all cornhole, like the good bags in with their boards, like if like it's just not apparently.
It's
though.
not.
Because people are going to see that and be like, $80 for a set of cornhole bags? Like when these are $40 and we're just going to go play in our backyard. That's why.
Yes.
The price takes it out of those big box stores, I think, right away. You do have some like boutique, like cornhole stores popping up here and there where they're offering a lot, which I think is very cool. I don't know how sustainable they are right away without like some serious online selling potential, like on eBay and just even Facebook Marketplace and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Like
I'm
I think
assuming that this guy's
reason.
fairly new to the game, is what I assume.
Probably, yeah.
If not, then like very disconnected with how big cornhole is. Like must be in like a very high volume cornhole area or something where it's just all over the place. But
that's true. I wonder where he's from.
Yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, like cornhole's, it's big. It's not that big, and like you said, it's never gonna. I'll never. You can't convince me that we'll ever see it to that level, where it's at like a Dick's Sporting Goods now. Maybe some. But you're never going to have a vast variety like you do for like 45
that's
golf
exactly
ball
what I was going to say.
companies.
Yes.
Like, yeah, it's just not going to
You're not going to have like, I doubt it's going to be like golf where you have like the Pro V1s are at eye level.
Yeah.
And then it just gets cheaper as you go down towards the floor. Like, I just don't see that happening with cornhole in like Dick's Sporting Goods or Walmart. Like, I just don't see it happening. Maybe, I hope so.
At the end of the day, like the ROI for the materials to make a cornhole bag.
Yeah.
It'll never be to the point where like you can mass produce them. That's why we haven't seen big guns stepping in to do it quite yet.
Yeah. I mean,
in my opinion, like it's just not quite there. So,
I mean, there's certain companies making steps towards that. I think eventually being that brand that does it. But again,
you can mass produce, but this game's grown through this channel for so long.
Correct. It's just not going to be.
The only reason you've grown is because those people know who you are. So by word of mouth, if you can start mass producing, then just mass produce through your own website at that point. Why offload any of the stock?
Unfortunately, if you want variety, a lot of it is just like when you first get into the game, it's a lot of what bags are thrown in your area. And then like if you start going on Facebook, like what do you happen to come across?
Yeah.
It's why we do the Best of the Bags tournament every single year.
Bring
so that
light to new
128 different bag companies all get their moment to shine at least for a day.
Yes.
Where you're getting a post and a bunch of people might see it. So
and if you're like us and you just find a bag with a funny name that you want to try,
100%.
That's the whole reason why we do that stuff.
Oh, we got one more.
You got a freshie?
One more. Addicted Cornhole. Khalid Comic. Bro, what a joke the USPS is. If your destination is on the right, why are you going to go left? I'm in Florida, FYI. Thanks, that's all. No shade/hate to anyone selling bags. The fact that he says that you're going left instead of right, and doesn't use like west and east, just makes the post just awesome.
I instantly knew he was from Florida. Like immediately.
There was that No Child Left Behind act or something like that back in the day. No, it was. I do get it. Somebody made a very funny comment. It was something like, were you pointing up? Did you tell him I need to point up or down? Because like that would change the right and the left. So maybe they got confused. I'm like, that's very true.
Very true.
But I love posts like that.
Yeah, I mean,
it is frustrating though. Like when I was buying bags all the time, there are certain hubs that your bags just kind of get stuck at. And if it's coming out of an area and it goes to a hub where you just don't have a popular route to get to another hub closer to you, it does just sit there for a long ass time.
Yeah, and they would rather send those like via air and take up all the space on your commercial plane.
Correct.
As opposed to just sending them via truck or train. So that's where we're at now.
Yes.
Why there's never overhead space, quote unquote, on board. God damn it. Airlines corrupt. Anyways.
Sure.
But yeah, I've seen that happen many times. I've also had like, it's arrived to like its unloading destination and it never shows up.
And I guarantee you there's probably at least 3 or 4 sets of bags that I ordered or I paid somebody for that I never got, that at the time I was ordering so many that they probably just disappeared and I just don't know. Maybe they'll show up one day.
Yeah. I'm also a testament too. If you ever have a package go missing at your like fulfillment center, like by your house, go there.
Oh, really? Okay.
Go there. All right. That's how I got my golf clubs.
Oh, no shit.
That were lost and I got payment for, Yeah. Don't come at me. Shipsticks. Yeah. All right, guys. Like I literally didn't have my clubs, but they said that they arrived there magically and they still didn't get to me. So I went there and boom, there they were.
It's magic.
You never know.
Just some stuff coming up. I mean, obviously we're going to be doing the bracket breakdown stuff, but we have some bags that we're going to be reviewing upcoming.
Oh, what?
We have some bags that have sent to us all the way from Australia.
Australia.
Put a little shrimp in the bobby.
With the Woolies.
Yep. So Rampage Cornhole sent two new series of bags all the way from down under.
Dingo babies.
Yes, correct. Bluey and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, thank you that's like the biggest thing they offer now. It's Bluey. Thank you.
Hey.
But yeah, I'm excited for that. So we have some bags to review. We also have from the TCL, we have Apex Cornhole, the Predator, maybe, or no, not Predator.
Rain.
Something from Apex Cornhole. I'm blanking out. I'm sorry. It's been a long week. But yeah, we have some bags to review.
Just Apex Cornhole. We'll shout out the name when we review it.
But they were the bags that I loved once upon a time in TCL.
Yes.
So the Summit.
Summit.
Jesus,
right.
man. Apex Summit. So we have some bags we're going to be reviewing. Obviously, next week we're going to recap the ACL Open and all that, or the ACL Signature event. And
we hope.
We have some guests lined up for the next few weeks, so it should be pretty fun.
Heck yeah.
All right, so we're going to take a break for right now. We'll be back just in a second, and we'll break down the brackets and all the pew, pew, pew ACL stuff.
Pew. Yeah, all the fun, goodies.
Good fun stuff. All right, so hang on just for a second.
Okay, bye. We'll be back. Say bye.
And boom, just like that, we're back.
Shazam.
Whoa. And if you're watching video, we just changed our clothes. It's crazy. Whoa. I obviously had to change into my Mike Hoffman, my finest apparel. For
the record, I wore that, I think, just last week.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. I used it as a thumbnail on the video, so he shouted you out on Patreon. I know you don't check that shit.
No,
so.
I don't.
He said, nice shirt, Dane.
I don't get free access to that one, so.
You just log in. It's not that hard.
I just have to pay for it.
You know the password. So don't do that.
It's okay.
All right, well, it's the next day. We got the brackets. Posted the brackets on Patreon. That was Tuesday morning. So and then posted kind of like my thoughts and stuff on singles. We're going to go through singles and doubles. So if you're listening to this and you happen to be by like a computer screen, you're not driving to work or something, and you want to pull up the brackets, we're going to kind of go down through each subsection. Yeah. We'll tell you our thoughts and kind of at the end where we think everyone's going to.
Or if you're driving, just close your eyes and
just visualize.
Fan zone right in front of you, and we'll paint the picture. Actually, don't close your eyes. All right, you're driving. Just listen.
All right, so let's start off with singles.
Oh, you want to go to?
Yeah, let's
Sean,
get singles is the gauntlet.
Fully set up.
I know 1, 2, 3, 4.
But this is the one that we need to ramble on. So I figured, what's going on for singles.
I know
this one we got to just workshop
through
it.
Singles.
So why don't we get through this one?
You want to do doubles first?
Yeah.
Dane's such a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I did all this work and homework for singles. And
I know. Just save it. Bring it home with the good sauce. This one, have not looked at the doubles brackets yet. So, I too pulled up singles brackets first, and that's all I really got to earlier today. But doubles, bracket A,
and I'm fighting the good fight here. I am a little under the weather, so I'm going to battle through this. So if you hear coughing in the background, I'm going to try to turn my mic down.
Rub some dirt on it and suck it up, Buttercup. All right,
I'm here.
This is our.
I know. That's why I'm here. Let's do
this is our first major championship of the world, Sean.
Major of the intergalactic.
Championship of cornhole for the universe.
Okay, so we're going to start with doubles and A. Things to note, right? One of the first things I saw when I was just kind of looking through all the brackets and seeing the seeding and stuff, I wrote down, gone are the days of elite players taking the lowest seeds. Players are being rewarded for traveling and accumulating open points early. Does this format set up an elite player to take down a signature event?
100%.
I think it certainly helps.
Yeah.
If you're let's say Bryce Forbes, for example, he's a 5th seed. Beats the hell out of having to go play Mark Richards in the first round, potentially. Sure. You know what I mean? Earning a spot that's in there. So really, when I first thought about it,
Mark Richards too.
Oh yeah, for sure. But when I first thought about it, I'm like, well, then what the fuck is the point of being a pro then? If all these elite guys are getting it, but the pros have guaranteed spots. Yes. There's only so many elites that were able to qualify via, I think it was Open 1 in this. Now, I do think it's important to note this is a round limited event. So the first one of the year, unfortunately, is round limited. I get why they're doing it because they don't want everyone not to show up, and people are going to show up for the first one. I kind of hate it. It's like the first test that we're getting to see everyone against each other, and we're doing this other game, right? So round limited is way more unpredictable. Historically speaking, we did not try to make predictions on pro shootouts because, again, they're so widely unpredictable. It could just take one bad round from somebody and they're done. Mm-hmm. So we've seen kind of all walks of life do well, style-wise. Obviously, Eric Davis has been kind of the poster child for known success. But besides that, there's not too many other people that have been consistently successful in the round limited game.
Yeah, but I mean, you're seeing a consistency of the top players at that time are still
for the most part, but there
seemingly
have been
performing.
some, in theory, surprise. Like Ryan Hart took down a pro shootout the one time. We had Ian Cripps take down a pro shootout. I mean, I'm saying that those guys aren't talented. I'm just saying like there were a little bit. No one was picking them to win the event at that time. So, all right. So if we start off in bracket A, the number 1 overall seed, really no surprise, Tony Smith and Mark Richards. They're coming off of 3 straight or something like that. Doubles wins,
3
in opens. I mean, the guys just don't seem like they're going to lose again. They're 2 of the best singles players in the country who have become friends, and they now have another year under their belt of playing together. It's just going to be scary. I don't think we're going to see like a sophomore slump with these guys. I think sometimes you can see that in singles, but oftentimes in doubles, it seems like you just click again.
Yeah, I think they're rolling, man. They play well together.
And people forget, like they had a really good season last year.
Yeah. No, I mean it was pretty good.
But my thing is like, is the expectations for them so high that if they don't win at least 2 signature events, is it a letdown?
A bit, yeah.
I think so, right?
I think so.
I think that's how good they are.
Yeah, on paper for sure. Like you expect them to walk into that room and be the 1A of any bracket. So they come in number 1 seed, so they maintain it throughout.
If we're scrolling down, and I'm just kind of taking a look at names, first team that comes to mind obviously is Shibby and Landis. They've done it before, right? Yeah. They've made deep runs. It's a terrible draw for them,
for sure.
Just getting Richards and Smith like the second game potentially. It's a tough draw, but if anyone could take them down, it would be a team that's familiar with themselves. The only thing I worry was like new bag company. You know what I mean? Like, is it going to take that first 2 events for them to really iron it out? But we'll see. If you drop down a little bit more, interesting new pairing, Eddie Grindersleeve and Dylan Turpin. It'll be like kind of the first time we really get to see them pair up.
I'm excited to see that duo.
I do not know what to expect. We know that Eddie Grindersleeve, when he's a pro and he's in the league and his partner is throwing well, he's always in the mix.
Yes.
The guy is about as consistent as they come as a pro. Mm-hmm. Even if the guy doesn't touch a bag for a year, he shows up at these events and he's just right back into it.
Yeah.
You're getting partnered up with Dylan Turpin, who historically speaking, the last few years has done really well at the first national.
One of the highest consistently on the PPR list every single season.
Correct. You have Isidro Herrera and Jalen Jones. They're facing off another interesting pair in Alec Ryan and Matthew Creekiller. I have no idea what to think about that match. It depends.
I don't think there's much to think about.
I mean, I think Creekiller was a flash in the pan the one year, and I just don't know if he's ever going to get back to that level again. Isidro Herrera and Jalen Jones, they actually had a pretty decent season last year. Maybe that chemistry together again will carry them on. But I fully expect we're going to see probably Richardson Smith emerge from this bracket.
I believe that Isidro and Jalen placed really well in a round limited open.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Earlier this season.
I think so.
This could be a nice little showing for them. We'll see.
Agreed. As we drop down to the next subsection, Jimmy Ewens and Ian Cripps. What do we think about this team?
I think it has potential to be kind of sneaky good.
Yeah, because I look at Jimmy Ewens as he's not considered like a top 20 singles dude anymore, right? Like there is at one point where he's like, oh shit, maybe he can be a top 10 player.
Yeah.
I think that's faded a little bit, but he's really consistent and he's always in the mix regardless of the partner. It seems like at least one major event a year, Jimmy Ewens is making the broadcast and doing something. Ian Cripps just keeps getting better every year.
Yes. So, I mean, and in round limited, this could be a format for them to kind of have a little coming out party here.
Jimmy can just run bags if he needs to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He plays a very smart game. Like, I think if they play the smart conservative game, I think that just strategy alone, I think that they're
and the level that Cripps has gotten to, I mean, he has no problem being the 1A in this duo here. So, yeah, I mean, again, I think they have a sneaky potential. And
there's no shade thrown at anyone else in this bracket. I just don't see anyone else really competing with them besides Sims and Wilson. Sims and Wilson, they're kind of like the ACL darling team. They market themselves well. They've had success before. You know what I mean? Like Braden had arguably one of like the bigger moments on a broadcast last year, hitting the airmail for a win. Just kind of all fell into the laps for the ACL for marketing purposes. I think they're very, very good. Braden hasn't been throwing like as well at the opens as of late, but again, he's partnered with another dude that's just really fucking consistent. I mean, AJ Sims just is always in the mix. Like he's always finishing like 7th in the bracket. Like he's just safe.
Yeah, and I think Braden Wilson he knows that he's a pro.
Yeah.
I expect that he's probably practicing a little more leading up into this. At least you hope.
Yeah.
I'm excited. They'll be just fine. I mean, I do like Kaylee Hunter and Pat Sem here.
Yeah, they're very good too.
They're just a good high PPR team. And again, round limited.
Yeah, exactly. If you start hot as a PPR team, I mean, you can just cruise right through.
Yeah.
But if you fuck up that one round,
you're done.
High running PPR guys just have a hard time putting bunches of points together in one round if they need it.
Yeah.
Like trying to manufacture points. That's why guys like Eric Davis and Ethan Walker and some of these guys have had success in the past.
Because they can put that block and still
if they need
12 on the board.
I think that's the thing in round limited. Is like you really just have to tell yourself it's just 12 rounds. Maybe I should just kind of run bags.
Yeah. Until you have to pull some stuff out.
I think so.
Which is just such a weird approach.
But if I'm making a prediction, I'm going to go with Sims and Wilson making out of this section. I think that we could see an upset with Hunter and Sem.
Yeah,
over Humans and Crips in that second game. But
see that one too.
Or Humans and Crips could go win the fucking thing.
They really could.
I mean,
round
every
limited.
year Ian has done very well. So, and again, round limited does very weird things.
But out of that subsection, though, Sims and Wilson definitely the top
all right,
dogs. But all right, let me go up.
All right, so this top one, a team that we've mentioned a few times, we think that they're so two rookies. You got Quinn Reeves and Austin Waskow, very, very talented players. I expect them to do very, very well this year.
I expect them to be that rookie doubles team that we always see come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're going to be that team this year.
Correct.
For the rookie duos.
I don't think they have the easiest of draws. I think David Morris and Sebastian Schaefer-Ford are going to be a very sneaky good team.
Well, I know Ford's having some recovery problems and stuff. He is.
I think, but I've heard that he's back. He's good now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping so. It's just these days they're a grind.
That's true. That is true. You have Brett Guy and Matt Guy going against Zachary Engelkin and Colby Costanza, which is a very weird pairing.
It is.
But talent wise, like it's gonna work out.
Oh yeah.
Like Zach,
sure.
like Zach is one of those guys that I don't think he doesn't get any love, but he's been a pro and he's just really steady. And Colby is really never quite lived up to the expectations he had when like he first joined the league.
Yeah. But he's still in the league. So he's been good enough to requalify.
Oh yeah, he's a very good player. It's just like as a college player, we just haven't always seen like really good college players translate directly into pro.
Yeah.
And he's just been one of those guys. It's not that he's been bad, just hasn't been like dominating like we thought maybe he could.
True that.
Brett Guy, Matt Guy. I don't know what to think about Guy Nation. I
mean, from what Matt was saying about Brett,
that's what
if Brett comes out and throws that way, I mean, they could do some work in.
If I was writing down on paper right now, I would take Waskow Reeves versus Guy and Guy.
Yeah, I would
to
too.
see what happens.
I think that'd be a fun one to watch. All right, moving on down.
Last year's like perennial runner up, right? Like every single tournament, Steven Bernstedt, Phil Lopez Jr. finished second in their bracket pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
They have a bye the first round. Their second match, they're probably gonna play. I would imagine Caleb Batson and Alex Hicks.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I would guess.
So if they play those, I mean, it really depends on which Caleb Batson are we gonna get. Yeah. I don't think Alex Hicks can be the number, like the 1A guy. I think if KB comes back like he was 2 years ago and he's throwing really well, I think we'll see Hicks feed off of that. I just don't know. Like, I know they're both like younger guys, but like, are they close at all? Like, I feel like Hicks likes playing with people and he performs best when he feels like he's at home.
Yeah.
Just pairing up with random people has historically not been that great for him. Yeah. I have a lot of questions. I think talent wise, this team is among the very top. I just don't know how the dynamic's going to work.
Yeah, but I mean, again, they've been around the game as youngsters together for a while now. Yeah. So I believe that they know each other decently well. And this partnership was not just like on a whim.
Yeah. But I mean, I fully expect Bernstedt and Lopez Jr. to win this bracket and kind of continue rolling.
Because again,
as they were
round
last year.
limited too. Like, I think it just speaks to those two. But again, like
this bracket might have been different. And I actually don't know where they would have fallen if Smith and Wiedenfeld were playing together.
Yeah, that's true.
For what I don't know what happened, but apparently Wiedenfeld is not going to be at this event. So Ryan Smith is actually playing with Jawan Smith.
Yeah.
No relation. Don't know what's going on there. Haven't really tried to find out. I'm sure something will come up as to why he can't come. Maybe they talked about in the ACL podcast. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, but
yeah, I couldn't tell you, but it sucks.
Yep.
But we'll see. It's all right. Next,
we're going to go to the B bracket.
Next bracket here.
All right, so B bracket. We have the number 1 seed. We have Bubenheim and Power. And I did not realize like they had done that well in opens to earn the number 1 seed, but obviously they have. They're a high PPR. I actually liked round limited for them more than the 21 format as a doubles team.
Yeah, for sure.
In their bracket, if you look down, you keep searching.
I think she's going to face off against her doubles partner in women's.
Well, possibly. I think Frank Verona and Riker Wells are going to be a very sneaky good team.
Yeah,
they're going to be a team. They're the kind of team at National One and round limited. They'll probably take it down, like the subsection. Honestly, just with somebody weird always tends to win. So I think if I had to make a prediction right now, probably from what we've heard from other people, is Frank Verona is like on one right now.
Yeah.
Riker Wells is very good as well. Yeah, I think Verona and Wells could probably win this bracket. I mean, and again, I'm a huge fan of Cheyenne and Power. I think that in round limited, they could be very good, but I think if someone's going to really challenge them, they could. Dalton McClem and Gina Ramirez, I think Gina's done very well no matter who her pro partner is.
Yeah.
The question is, like, she's not playing with somebody as good as she did last year.
Yeah, but can they just pour bags in the hole?
Maybe.
You never know.
I don't know. It just depends on McClem. Again, he's another one. Every year, 1 or 2 of the Nationals, he makes a really deep run.
Yeah.
And he's been around the game for a very long time. But if he's there and he's ready to take it seriously, they might be able to make a little noise.
Is it weird that there's like also 4 of the top, like arguably 5 femals in the game right now?
Yeah, because you have Cassidy and Elizabeth Tennyson as well in there. Yeah.
Very weird.
Yeah, that's true. Scroll it on down. Boop. All right, sitting at the 4 seed is Austin Kibble and Logan Dupler, and they're going to await Jackson Gore and Jacob Gore. Twin Terrors, we know how good they can be individually.
Yes.
Sometimes it's a doubles team. They don't bring out the best in them. I'm hoping that they can figure their shit out because it's better when those two are on the court together. Mm-hmm. It's way more entertaining. They have like that brother dynamic. You know what I mean? It's very entertaining. This whole bracket, though, is absolutely stupid loaded.
Dude, it is.
You have Austin Kipper, Logan Dupler. You have Jackson Gore and Jacob Gore. You have Jason Rubin, Ryan Trader, Alan Rawls, Chris Kingsbury, Lori Dool, Miranda Coy. I mean, it's just like big names.
Left and right. I mean, I kind of like Alan Rawls and Chris Kingsbury to maybe run away with this, but I think that's the round 2 matchup to watch. Jason Rubin against Alan Rawls Kingsbury.
Oh, it's
Rubin Trader. Them. I mean, so far that's going to be a nasty match.
Now, the one thing, and again, this probably doesn't matter, but remember, Rubin didn't play last year.
Yeah.
So is he going to be as familiar with like the pro shootout for like this round limited format? I mean, I guess it probably really doesn't matter
for
to
him,
a guy like that.
I think he's just.
I mean, he's an elite bag runner. Like he can be an elite bag runner. I mean, yes, he has a great airmail and all that stuff, but really, he wants to just pour every bag in the hole.
Yeah, and to get him back to Ryan and just let him do his thing.
And again, he thrives in doubles. Like, you know what I mean? He knows just take care of my spot. He's going to do his spot. We're going to be good. But every year we try to count out Rawls and Kingsbury, and they're fucking there in the end. They've been a top 5 team. So, yeah, I think I agree. Like, you have to go by that. Like, yes, Rubin and Trader are like the fancy new team, but give me vanilla.
Exactly.
Sometimes vanilla is delicious. And
I
it's
think
the best
vanilla
flavor.
works in round limited pretty darn well.
I think it can, and it's done well in both formats.
Yes,
so
it has.
Sometimes vanilla is delicious, so I kind of agree. I think we go Rawls and Kingsbury in the subsection.
Vanilla slaps. All right. Boop.
The number 2 seed, we have the happy married couple, Cody Henderson and Ethan Walker. They're waiting the winner of Ryan Hart, Chris Roybal, which is a very interesting team, and then Frank Modlin, Damon Dennis.
What a matchup right out the gate.
Yeah, welcome back to the ACL. Like all 3 of those teams are like, what the fuck?
Yeah, seriously.
Like of all the teams that we're going to face, like, and this whole subsection is loaded. All right, so you got Henderson and Walker, Hart and Roybal, Modlin and Dennis, Gavin Hamming and Jackson Remick. You have Chucky Love and Tice Cobb, Chase Lester and Ty Thompson, Kenzie Beach and Allison Springer. I mean, that's about as heavy as you're going to get in like a little subsection of doubles. Now, it's no secret. We are huge fans of Chase Lester and Ty Thompson.
Yes.
I actually love their draw.
So do I.
I think that we're going to see Chase Lester and Ty Thompson probably take on, and I'm going back and forth between Henderson and Walker or Hart and Roybal. And the only thing I'm leaning towards Chris is that I think Ryan right now is better than Cody. And we saw how good Chris was last week.
I know. And Chris he looked sharp, but then we also saw how good Ethan was.
Yeah, I know.
And Ethan is that kind of guy that round limited, if he's on,
yeah.
I mean, good night. You're not going to score on him,
Listen,
and he's going to be able to drop 4 points.
We've been talking
on you.
them up though since they first decided that or it was announced that they were both in the ACL.
Yeah.
Let's take a chance. Chase Lester and Ty Thompson.
Yeah, I would
win
love
this
to see
subsection.
them
I think it's
take
very
it down.
possible. I think their draw is as good as you can get and are really tough. Most of the really tough teams are above them.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think they're going to avoid a few big punches early on, and maybe they can squeak by and make it through the subsection.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to Chase, and he's feeling good, so I'm looking forward to them maybe doing some stuff, man. Let's go.
So we drop down. The top seed is number 3 seed Jordan Kamba and Eric Zockline.
Love
Easy
it.
still doing it.
I love it.
They're waiting the winner of Deborah Odom and Gary Bearpaw versus Ryan Tucker and Gabe Dolan. Now, if I'm in the bracket above this and I look down and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And there's no shade at that at all. But I would much rather play the winner of Odom and Bearpaw or Tucker and Dolan than anybody up there.
Yeah.
Than Hart and Roybal or Maudlin Dennis. You know what I mean? It's crazy how it all works out sometimes. I don't know what to think about Odom and Bearpaw. I think they're going to be okay. Tucker and Dolan, same thing. They're okay. I think that Kamba and Easy have about as good of a draw as you can ask for right off the rip. I think that they kind of scoot through, get to the quarterfinals. And then this bottom section is where it gets interesting. You have Jeff Reynolds and Lucas Householder. They're going against Ty Lopez and Colin Powers. I'll give the nod to the local guys. We'll see if Householder can hold his shit together and put together a run.
Again, this is all about just you have 12 rounds.
And then
don't screw it up.
Our dude, Mike Hoffman and Leston Allen Jr. get a very tough draw. They go against
robbed.
Davis and Sorrells, who are arguably outside of their seed, one of the favorites to win this event.
Yes.
Right? I mean, they did it really well last year together.
I just don't like, has Sorrell's been going to stuff?
It doesn't matter, man.
Yeah,
he just shows up.
He'll just show up. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's been to Opens. I think he's just showing up for these, because I haven't seen his name on anything.
Yeah, I think he's
probably working.
So you hope, because Hoffman and Leston have been playing really well, then maybe they catch lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
And in round limited, this is the perfect time to do it. So you
Exactly.
see upsets in this. So hey, I rock the Hoffman jersey for a reason today.
Upset?
Yeah, let's call first round upset.
All right.
I am. I think that would shock a lot. Now again, it's double elimination. Anything can happen, but let's call first round upset.
I'm only calling first round upset if Mike throws against Eric.
Ooh. I don't think it matters.
Sean, I'm just putting it on him.
Okay.
All right. I'm just, throwing it out into the universe.
It's wild too, because Mike and Leston, I believe, are both lefties.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
So
you do not see that very often.
Which way you guys going?
Yeah, I know, right? That's very weird.
You're mirroring us.
All right, so let's go to the C bracket.
C bracket. All right.
One of my favorite teams going into this year, next to Smith and Richards. I think they were number 2 on my power ranking. Sammy Soto, Gavin Cano. Enough said. I just think they're going to be very, very good this year. Their draw, their second round match is, I'm going to give the nod to our dudes. Shermer Horn-Niestedt probably get past Jordan Mitchell and Riley Dinn. So let's say Soto and Cano go against Shermer Horn-Niestedt. I need to see something from them again.
Yeah.
I need to see a little magic.
Do you believe in magic? In a young girl's heart.
If it happens,
boys.
Awesome. But I need to see it first.
I know. And just what a hard draw, because Sammy and Gavin are both really good. And what we saw Gavin put on this weekend.
And as I look down this,
dude, it's kind of another.
You have
gauntlet.
Soto and Cano, and then right down there again, another team that most people were expecting to be top 5. You have Ellis and Harbaugh.
Yeah.
So one of those two teams is going to go home within before the quarterfinals. Another sneaky team, Adrian Brunson, Ethan Farias. It's another really tough team. I think Ellis and Harbaugh got a decent draw, right?
It's not terrible, but it's still not good.
It's not great, but it's a good. I think it's a good warm up match. You know what I mean? Now again, you don't have a whole lot of time in these. You got to start hot. But we'll see. I think we got to figure out the dynamic between Ellis and Harbaugh and see how successful they're ultimately going to be.
For sure.
As we scroll down, a team that we're all familiar with now is Hissner and Birchfield. They're awaiting the winner of Tubby Cobb and Bella, and they're playing Chris Wagner and Peyton Hayes. So we saw Bella throw this weekend, really good. She's throwing with Tubby again. They played very solid last year. Yeah. I think we're going to see Hissner and Birchfield just kind of roll through this section at the top. The two teams at the bottom, it's actually kind of loaded. Chad Hunt and Tommy Slicker just did not get enough credit for last year. They're very similar really to good. Bernadette Lopez Jr., right? Yeah. They were knocking on the door all season. But then you have Rosie Streaker, Sam Finley, Vincent Frisch, and Austin Cameron. Completely different play styles, right?
Yes.
We have the ladies who have just been playing really well recently.
They've been playing lights out.
Who have been just like
gutting people.
Like just pro players for a really long time.
Sam Finley won.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, she's playing very, very well right now.
The Florida,
but then we have Frisch and Cameron. People forget they did very well last year.
They did, and honestly, like Frisch is still.
If it wasn't for travel woes, they might have won one of these round limited events. So we've seen how talented Frisch is. I just don't know how much the kid actually plays.
Because isn't he really big in baseball?
I thought so. I don't know a whole lot about him. I know he's a very nice guy when I've talked to him before. I know he's very, very talented. But again, if you're not throwing all the time and then you're going to like a signature event, you got to be on top of your game. And maybe he is.
Especially around limited signature. It's even tougher.
Correct.
Then. All right. Jumping on over to the other side.
Hayden Gonzalez and Gabriel Clausen. I'm not super familiar with either one of them. I've seen both of them throw. They're obviously really good together. I think they're the number one elite doubles team currently right now. So very solid. The rest of this bracket is kind of blah, like, to be honest with you. Like, if I'm looking at this, like, I'm pretty pumped that, like, I got this draw. The only other team that I think is a sneaky team that's going to give some problems, obviously, I love our boy Corey Morrison, Terry Mathis. I think they're going to be very solid, but they have to face Gonzalez and Clausing round 2. Mm-hmm. There's a team just below them that most people probably don't know is David Brown and Brandon Earls.
Yeah.
Really talented two players. I think that early on in the season, it's round limited and just weird shit happens at the first national and round limited. They're just weird enough for like that team to kind of make the final of the bracket.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they're sneaky, but where do I know the name Earls from?
We interviewed him.
Okay,
he's a Michigan dude.
Okay, Michigan guy. Yeah. That's right. Okay. Yeah, I remember his name.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, we interviewed him probably like 6 months ago or something.
Yeah.
All right, if we scroll down a little bit, the top seed in this little subsection is Mason Trader and Cash Chamness. They're waiting the winner of Justin Stranger and Kyle Petering and Trevor Kufis and Carson Getty. I don't know where the Barons came from, but maybe got married. All right, but I'm going to go with Carson Getty just because that's who I know him as. I don't know what to think about juniors. Well, why are you laughing?
Just move on. Just didn't expect you to. Wait, what, did you get married?
Maybe you got married. I don't know.
I don't know.
Why is that so funny? I'm not saying you married a dude. I'm just saying, like, is that what you're laughing about?
Like, do you guys hyphenate their names with like their female part? Is that like
maybe sometimes? Listen, man.
Like
I don't know.
Thing? I don't know. Man.
I don't know. It's 2025. Weird stuff has happened. Anyways, I don't know what to think about Mason Trader and Cash Chamness. Like, I think Cash is really, really good. I think Mason's been really good.
What to think of? They're really good. They're tiny little assassins.
But there's been a reason that, historically speaking, at this first like national event, like juniors haven't always done really well.
Yeah, you gotta. They're still got their training wheels on. They haven't had this experience yet.
And again, we love Justin Stranger and Kyle Petering are two of like our favorite pro players. Yeah. It's not the worst like second match to have in the world to have to face one of those teams. Another team that's interesting in
Matt
these,
Wilson and Colby Shearer.
Yes,
because I like that team a lot.
That's literally who I was going to say.
Yeah,
and then the other one, Ryan Windsor and Nico Morales. Obviously, they're friends.
Yeah,
I think that they're going to be very good. Nico's done very well with. Doesn't matter who he's partnered with. I think one of the sneaky first round matchups that people should watch because it should be entertaining is Matt Wilson, Colby Shearer versus Kyle Malone, and Tyler Stratton.
For sure. Yeah, it's a good matchup.
Stylistically, I think they match up very well. I think it's going to be a very close match. Could one of the winner of that match end up winning this subsection 100%?
Yeah, but I'm also just thinking this is the janitor's year, man.
You think it's really you want to take?
I think he's going to have a good season,
like rookie of the year consideration kind of stuff.
I think he's gonna.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah, he's a good player, and like I've seen them play doubles like they're okay. I just think they're gonna have a good one.
Yeah, I mean, again, if we're going, it's boring just to say Trader and Chamness are gonna win, right? Like, if they win, no one's going to be surprised. I mean, they've done so well so far.
Yeah, but I'm there with you. Like, it's hard in this very first event because it is like
if it was 221,
intimidating.
If it's 221, what I've always done is I just try to picture stylistically how do I think the match is going to go.
Yeah,
right. Like, do I have a feeling about anybody?
Times, who's going to win the most?
Yeah, exactly. You play an odds game.
Yeah.
That's really what is always done. But when it's round limited, you just throw all that shit out the window.
Yep.
It's just who starts hot. Because if you give up a 7 round one. against pro players, it's really tough to come back from that. It just is.
It is. That it is.
All right. On to D
over to the D's. All right. So,
yes,
in the doubles D bracket, first overall seed.
You're pausing,
Jay. And Logan Chamberlain taking first overall seed with the bye. Their next little subsection down, you have kind of a nice draw for them.
They have a very nice draw.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking through the whole bracket, and
I think Zach Aiken's really good. Riley Schaaf's very good. I don't think they're ready to like take that next step. And
yeah, but I think Anthony Eastridge and Jaden Ellis could be a little troublesome. I mean, it's also Schaaf and Aiken, just because
I think they're going to be a fun team just to watch walk in the building together.
Yes,
because it's going to look like a father and son, but they're like basically the same age. You know what I mean? Like, I got to talk to Anthony quite a bit in California. Really, really nice dude. Unfortunately, he kind of got his like first bit of fame is when our dude Nate Voyer was going crazy on the broadcast, unfortunately. But
it happens.
I think Jay Nellis and Anthony Eastridge could win this bracket as well. But Burton Jr. and Logan Chamberlain, to me, are still a top 4 team in the country.
Yes.
They're going to go there and they're going to handle business. They do this for a living.
Yeah, and I also think that they
take it very seriously.
They perform. They're one of those teams that does it on both state. Like they can do round limited too.
They play all the time.
Yeah, and they're both tacticians.
Yes.
So they're just a tough out. Next little subsection down,
Hunter Thorne and Hunter Thorson. I don't really know what to think. I'm not familiar with Hunter Thorson at all.
The Hunters.
I'm just not. Obviously they've had a very good run. I think Hunter Thorne is really fun to watch.
Yes.
He's been fun to kind of watch him come into the league. He's never quite had like that burst on the moment, like, hey, I'm a top 20 player in the world kind of thing, but he's done very well. Like he's had a very solid career so far. And he just can't, the poor dude just can't seem to like stick with a partner.
No, I mean, he's switched every year he's been a pro.
The team that's probably going to be the most problems in this bracket is Bryce Forbes and Levi Haddock. We've talked about Levi before. We've talked about Bryce just like a little bit ago in the episode. Put these two together. If they're hot, they're going to win the subsection.
Yeah,
they are. I just don't see anyone else, even at their best, that they're going to beat these two if those two are at their best.
Yeah, I mean, got to see them both very much, like very close this weekend. And yeah, they both are throwing very well right now.
For sure.
So it's just
next. Oh, shout out to Colin Hodet, though. He has a tough match. Colin Hodet and Brady Foster have Cameron Belvin, Noah Almanza. Again, really interesting team there. Almanza has shown flashes, like when we were in the Ohio Open, the Hamilton Open.
Yeah.
Almanza, what people were coming up to us being like, Almanza's the best thrower here today. And he was locked in. And then it was the one match that I went to go live stream that he absolutely fell apart.
Stop
and he
putting the camera in front
of
him,
I know.
All right, cripes.
But again, Cameron Belvin, we mentioned earlier in this episode, like just she's the one female that is kind of done really well, like in nationals before. Mm-hmm. Like she can make a deep
step
run
up and start humming it. Like you don't know. You never know which one's going to show up.
But Colin plays such a dirty style game that like he makes it very interesting in this round limited stuff. And I was looking back, I believe it was at the World Championships that Colin ended up finishing like 7th in the shootout stuff. Okay. So like in the last round limited kind of stuff. Yeah. So he's had success before. Boy. So
come on now.
Let's see how it is.
Love to see that.
Hell yeah.
Do it for the program.
The program.
Go.
Scrolling. All right. Finally, we haven't said their name yet. The number 2 seeds sitting here on the east side of the D bracket, Jamie Graham and Jacob Trzynski.
Teddy Graham and Trzynski
do not have a great draw. Like I can't lie. Like
it's not a fun one.
I don't know what the hell to think about Tanner Halbert and Justin Rule. If Justin Rule is how he was last year, I think that him and Halbert are going to have a very solid season. If Rule is how he was 2 years ago, they're probably going to go 0-2.
Yeah.
You know what you're going to get with Tanner Halbert. All right. He's been around the block, former world champion. He knows how, like, the level of play that's required. Unfortunately for them, even if things go well game 1, they're going against the other team in probably my top 5, Jamie Graham, Jacob Trzynski, who a lot of people are picking to win this event.
I mean, if they take down the subsection, which, I mean, yeah, there's some names in there, but it's not that bad. We've definitely seen worse subsections.
Tony Forbes just has a knack in round limit. I mean, he won one last year as an elite player, right? He kind of broke the mold for elite players. He's playing with Zane Krotz, another very talented player. They have an excellent draw first round. This just would not surprise me at all if we saw like a Graham versus Trzynski and Forbes and Kratz kind of inch them out and they make it to the king seat, and then we have to see Graham and Trzynski come back and double dip.
Ooh, look at you.
So
written in stone on a podcast. God bless you. And then at the top of the next subsection down, with the third seed, we have Derek Holland, Alex Rawls. Interesting team because they're both really good, and they too could just run away with this thing. Not as easy as a road as their counterparts above, though.
No,
because there's some bigger names through here. First and foremost, I mean, yeah, you get the bye, but then you have Fisher Hamilton and Landon Crabtree, or Corey Gilbert and Dean Norton. And
Gilbert and Norton are a vibes team.
Yes,
they have fun when they're playing. They're loud.
And they're a good doubles team. So
yeah, they're loud. You know what I mean? They're kind of like a more aggressive Shermer Horn Neistat.
Yeah.
Where Shermer Horn Neistat are like kind of silly and back and forth, making fun of each other. Like Gilbert and Norton, everyone in the room's gonna know if they're winning or something's going well.
Yep.
Like, and I love it. It's gamesmanship. They know they're not gonna throw like a 12. You know what I mean? Like, so why not just try to play the mental game a little bit?
And that's in round limited. All it takes is just one little slip. Boom. Lay it on them. Moving forward.
Hamilton and Crabtree, though, they're super interesting.
They are. That's
because Crabtree is another one of those players that every year he keeps getting better.
Yeah.
And I think that if Fisher can come in and he doesn't have to be like the 1A player.
He doesn't need to be the Fisher Hamilton.
If they can just both play solid and they just both have confidence in each other, I think this team's going to do very, very well this year.
Nobody needs to be a hero.
They just have a really shitty draw.
They do.
Derek Holland and Alex Rawls are about as fucking consistent as you get.
Yes.
And round limited, it to me just seems like it's just destiny for them to do really well.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one team to win this whole side of the bracket, I would probably pick Holland and Rawls.
Yeah. I mean, then you also have in the 6th seed, Fabinar and Harrison.
Oh, yeah.
A good team there. And then down there, I mean, you got DLE and Jose Eriguin.
Yeah.
In there as well. I just, really wanted to say the name.
Church it up.
Yeah, I think this is a sneaky, hard little subsection down here. But I agree, man. Derek Holland and Alex Rawls, they're built to be solid top 5 team. So
for sure,
I expect big things.
Absolutely.
All right, so now it's time, Sean. We could finally. I mean, I know you wanted to start with doubles, but now we're going to go ahead and jump into singles. So, singles bracket A, number 1 overall seed, Trey Birchfield.
Yeah, sorry, I had to blow my nose there.
It's all right. I'm pretty sure my mic picked up a little bit of it.
All right, so
you're welcome, everyone.
If you're on Patreon, I kind of wrote out like my singles breakdown, and literally what I did was normally I'll go through and proofread, but I'm like, this is Patreon. I'm not posting it out for everybody. So I literally just wrote out.
Can you just read it?
No, I'm not going to read it. No, I'm not doing the no. This it's like 4,000 words. Like there's no. I just kind of wrote out my thoughts and what came to mind as I was kind of reading it down. So if I skipped over anyone, it wasn't like a shot at anybody, but like you can't touch on every single person.
Sean, yes, you can.
All right. So if we started off again, Trey Birchfield just sitting there. It only seems fitting that the world champ is currently the number 1 seed.
Yes.
Right. Like now I know it's based off open standings, and he is tied. He's like one of the 14 people that are tied in first place. So Birchfield deserves the number 1 overall seed. He's sitting there. I like his draw, but Austin Cameron is like the kind of singles guy that you just don't love to see. He's been last year he was a rookie for the ACL, but he's been a pro in the ACO forever. He's just really good, and I don't think he gets quite enough love. It's not exactly who I'd be thrilled to play if I was Birchfield in the second round, but I think Birchfield handles business. I think when it's all said and done, the robot kind of handles business in this one.
Over. I mean, I think Verona might be able to give him some problems down the line.
Yeah, I think Verona versus Earls in the first round is a very interesting match.
That'd be a fun one to watch.
But again, I'm going with Frank. He's been there from last year. He's going to learn from that experience a little bit. From what we've been hearing, his roll bag's been deadly despite he's 8 feet tall. So I think it should be a pretty solid match there. The next subsection down, I wrote, every time I open social media, I see a video of Spencer Fabinar just doing ridiculous things with a bag. He gets a bye the first round. I think he's going to handle himself just fine. But then the question to me is, who who comes out on top? Is it Spencer or is it somebody like a wily veteran like a Tanner Halbert that goes through?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough.
Give me the hot newer dude right now. Spencer's been throwing really well. The guy always is practicing.
I like if he's feeling the roll bag and everything.
Correct.
I like his odds, especially in round limited, because he can just put up a big round on anyone.
Yes. Again, Tanner Halbert, in order to win a round limited event, has got to shoot an amazing percentage for airmails.
Yes.
Because he's just not a roll bag guy. Mm-hmm. But he is not bashful. You put a first bag block down and he's feeling it, he's just going to go up all day.
Rip it. Yeah. You push it in. I don't want to touch it.
And I know people think roll bags are scary, but someone's just dropping dimes in your face in airmail. There's no defense for that. There's no defense for that at all.
I agree. It's way more detrimental for your psyche.
All right. So the next subsection down, I know we mentioned that this is a round limited format, right? So obviously Eric Davis is going to be the favorite to win this event.
Yeah.
He's had tremendous success in the past. He's already one of the most talented players in the league, but for some reason just has thrived in the past in this round limited format. And I think it has to do with maybe he plays a little bit smarter, but he has the ability to manufacture points probably better than anybody else in the game.
Yeah.
No bag is ever out of play, so he can always go rescue points if he has to. Mm-hmm. And he just scores in bunches. Like every airmail, it's never just an airmail. It's like an airmail and he's dragging 2 to 3 bags. It's not just rolling it. He's rolling over and blocking. You know what I mean? It's just every bag is something crazy. I think he's very solid. I think that the only person to me that I'm looking down this list that could pose possibly a threat would be Justin Rule, if he's that top PPR in the ACL guy again. If a guy like that just gets red hot and he just doesn't fucking miss a bag in like 10, 12 rounds, he could win.
Yeah, I think you're just dragging it out too long. It's Eric Davis in round limited, so we're just going to move on to the next subsection. Yeah.
David Dennis is running it back. I just don't have a feel like on round limited performances yet to really take like a good guess. Give me Gabriel Clausen in this one just because he's younger.
He's been throwing well.
He's thrown really well. And I other than that, I don't really have a whole lot to say about like the subsection.
I mean, I'd love to see Navarro Dip take a run just because it's like one of the best names in cornhole.
And Jason Frady's a very solid player too. I just feel like the 2 top seeds in this subsection are going to kind of probably meet in before the quarterfinals. You don't think
Damon Dennis can sprinkle a little old man magic on this?
He can 100%. 100% he can.
I mean, if he would, I would expect it to be in a round limited event. I think that's more his speed now.
Again, is he locked and loaded right off the bat?
Yeah. Can he put it together? We'll see.
Number 2 seed overall in this bracket, we have Gavin Cano, and he's going to wait the winner of Jeremy Shermerhorn and Oscar Moreno, who's a rookie out of the Texas area. Shermerhorn's got to be ready because Oscar's a very solid player. He's more of a roll bag, kind of throws like that weird reverse cut kind of thing. Doesn't look super pretty, but he just pours bags in the hole, throws a very slick bag. Shermerhorn, we know he's just been a very steady
panda.
Yeah, correct. A very steady pro. Other names in this bracket, Colin Hodet. Again, he's obviously one of our sponsored player. Rookie, very unique game style. I mean, about as dirty as you can get.
Yeah.
He calls himself the Roll King for a reason. And then right below that, in the second round, we might get the treat of how Hodet versus Landis. 2 of our favorite dudes in the league. Who both play with ridiculously sticky bags.
Yeah, it'd be super fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, the kind of shots that these guys could hit would be a lot of fun. So, ultimately though, Gavin Cano's going to win the subsection.
I mean, at the end of the day, Gavin Cano's on one right now, and I do believe he's going to continue it.
Correct.
All right, next subsection. At the top, you got Gary Bearpaw with the bye at the 10 seed. Yeah, I mean, you got Joe Niestedt in there at 26, Terry Mathis at 42, then Mason Trader down there at 7. Can the young trader go through and take the subsection down?
I don't know. I actually have a feeling that a guy like Gary Bearpaw, who just like has zero emotion and just doesn't give a shit, and all he does is throw bags in the hole, might just do well in this format.
Yeah, I agree.
And he's just going to squeak by, and somehow he's going to be that name where we're like, oh, look at Gary, he's doing so well. And then he's going to meet somebody, and then the wheels are going to fall off. He's that kind of
crafty veteran that's just frustrating for
exactly. Yes, yes,
for
100%.
anyone to face in a round limited setting, because they're like, damn it, man, I thought I had him on that, and he'll just push through anything. Like he'll just do his thing, ho hum, and
very, very solid player. Like again, just kind of boring to watch. Yeah. You're not going to get any emotion out of him. You're never going to get an interview from the guy. But he's a very solid player. But again, Mason could win too, and again, nobody would be shocked. Number 3 seed here, Logan Chamberlain. Had a really good bye.
Yeah.
Even if Bella takes down her first game, which I fully expect her to, Chamberlain's very familiar with Bella. Played her probably 100 times. I would probably say the winning percentage is probably pretty high. Again, round limited evens things out a little bit, but Logan's been throwing too well. I think you got to go with Logan there.
For sure. I mean, and down the list, I like Logan across the board. Nico might catch fire and give some problems.
Nico's another guy. He can be very deadly just because he's such a good airmailer.
Yeah, if his airmail's ripping, then especially against a guy like Logan, who if he needs to put points down, he's going to drop that block. If Nico just rips over top of it, boom. Yep. Next thing you know, he's got 6 points, moving on.
Correct.
Moving on. All right.
Do you want me to go over who I had now, like while we're in the A bracket, like who, like the finalists that I had?
Sure.
All right. Just while we're here.
I'll pull up the B bracket now.
All right. So A bracket, the quarterfinals, I had Birchfield versus Fabular, Davis versus Clausen, Kano versus Bearpaw, and Chamberlain versus Alex Rawls. And then in the semifinals, I have Birchfield versus Davis, Kano versus Chamberlain.
Yeah.
And that's the winner's bracket semifinals. You don't know what the fuck's going to happen. Loser's bracket. It's too impossible to follow along, all that shit. But so winner's bracket, that was my final four. All right. So as we move on to the B bracket, Mark Richards lands himself a number 1 seed and will be the favorite to be the number 1 overall. After this, I mean, the guy's just really fucking good. I don't know what else to say. It seems like if he's locked and loaded, it might just be one of those magical years again, and everyone's just kind of playing for second place.
Very true, because he's
once again, I hate that this is first events round limited. If it was to 21, I would put a decent amount of money on Mark Richards to win it. The round limited stuff scares me a little bit, but I think it's still the first pro event of the season. Guys like Mark Richards thrive off of this kind of environment, and I think he's going to do just fine. I think he's going to pull it out. I hope we see Corey Morrison, one of our favorite dudes. He has a 49 seed. This one always cracks me up watching like the seedings and stuff. Yeah. Because if you're like new to cornhole and you're looking at these brackets and you're like, oh, Brett Guy, like I know a guy. He's like, oh, he's gonna kick his butt. He's going against 49 seed. Corey Morris is probably the best 49 seed you're ever gonna find in a fucking bracket.
He probably literally hasn't gone to an open.
And how many times have those two played each other in their lives? Probably a whole fucking bunch. Yeah. Oh yeah, a whole lot. These guys have played against each other. Give me Corey.
Why not?
Corey's a gamer, and again, I've mentioned him before he was even a sponsored player every single year. All right. So if you go back and listen to when we're doing the bracket breakdown, Corey Morrison almost always wins his first like 2 to 3 games in his bracket.
Yeah, and then he goes a lot,
lose bracket, wins one bracket, wins a game in the loose bracket, and he's out.
Yeah.
But he's always in the mix. He's always finishing like 7th place in the bracket. He's just fucking consistent. He just hasn't quite gotten over the hump, but this is a round 1 matchup. And he just wins these things. So I think we're going to go Corey Morrison getting out and then facing Mark Richards at the end.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
This next one is interesting.
Saucy.
You have Noah Almanza. Which one's going to show up? But then you have 2 of our new favorite guys. We have Mike Hoffman and then going against Tommy Slicker.
Yeah.
Both guys are actually throwing pretty well.
I know.
I don't know what to think about that match. I really don't.
It's a fun matchup.
It is a really fun matchup.
If anyone can get that one to stream, watch it.
Because both of these guys, I think, are sneaky good enough to get past Almanza. Like, because again, sometimes these guys aren't good at sitting, and then you're going against somebody that just played a round limited, and they're all warm and ready to rock and roll.
Already got to face a pro, and then they get to go up and face a pro again. It's much easier if you've already done it.
And you have Ryan Windsor sitting at the bottom. He's an 8 seed. I don't really know what to say. Like, it doesn't seem like he's playing as much, or if he is, he's not finishing near the top as much. He's still Ryan Windsor. Like, he's still a really good player. I think it's going to be the winner of those first 3 names that we saw: Almanza, Slicker, Hoffman. I think whoever comes out of like that little gauntlet, I think can take down the subsection. Yeah.
I agree. I concur.
Sitting at the 4 seed, we have Justin Burton Jr., who's coming off of an open where I thought he looked like he was back to himself. He's waiting the winner of Trevor Kufis and Justin Duke. Trevor Kufis has been a very solid pro the last few years. Mm-hmm. He's never won anything, hasn't really made too much of a splash, but he's actually a very solid player if you look at his performances year after year. But JBJ just looks too tough to handle right now. The rest of the bracket, I don't see anyone else besides, like, could Eddie G catch lightning in a bottle? Yeah, of course. But I think Justin Burton Jr. is just like a better version of Eddie G right now.
Yeah, and honestly, we just keep saying, like, we keep beating the dead horse on the whole thing, just saying, like, there's the what if and round limit.
Yeah, of course.
But it's just the God's honest truth. All these people are so good.
All right, so you have Sam Finley, Kobe Costanza, Dalton McClem are the first 3 names. So Sam Finley's waiting on the winner of Costanza and McClem. Give me Finley to come out of that little group.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see chalk here. I think we're going to see Finley going against Jordan Power at the end of that.
And that would be a fun match dude. I know. I was just thinking that it's a fun match to watch, but I think I would go with Power over Finley only because Power stroke first and splash the airmail, where I feel Finley does stroke and then the block game. So yes, she can kind of roll and hit the airmails too, but I think Power just can do it at a higher clip.
Yeah, I just think there's no player more confident going into the first signature as Jordan Power.
Exactly.
And a confident Jordan Power could be very scary.
It's scary.
So I'm interested to see this. And as we head over to the east side of the bracket, we find a familiar name. It's almost like the ACL didn't even want the singles finals to be both Smith and Richards in singles and doubles.
Yeah.
All right, so Tony and Mark sitting just on opposite sides of the bracket. I still think Tony is a top 5 player in the world.
Yes.
Easily. He has a very tough subsection.
Is it different though if you don't have to like rely on qualifying in singles because you're so good at doubles? Like,
right.
Maybe singles is just your time to have some fun and see if you can hit some crazy stuff.
But you have an interesting first round match. You have Cody Henderson and Chris Kingsbury, and then right underneath that is Chris Roybal and Jeremy Frazier. That is like not a great first and second match. Yeah,
that's a about nugget
as
right there.
Tough as I've seen like those 4 matches right there.
Well, I didn't expect Kingsbury to be a 47th seed.
He hasn't been traveling much yet. But Smith will make it through. I think his second game, and then it's just really who emerges out of those 4 names we saw. I mean,
give me Roybal against Kingsbury.
Give me Kingsbury
next matchup, and then man, that's tough.
Yeah, I'm going to go Kingsbury.
Just seeing Roybal throw. Give me Roybal, but Kingsbury gets him in the losers bracket.
Oh, that's such a cop out.
Yep.
Chris, I got you, boy. I got you. All right. I think that this is round limit, and I think that he's just I want to say just a little bit more consistent player. Like just his style, carrying bags close to the hole, and he's practicing all the time.
Honestly, do you want to? I think Roybal's new throw is such a distraction that it could
that's
throw
true
people
though.
off.
That is true though. It is God. That is wild. Yeah, that could be true. All right, so this next one, we're gonna rate off a whole bunch of names. All right, Landon Crabtree, Ryan Hart, Jaden Ellis, Ryan Smith, and Justin Stranger, just to mention a few. This subsection is close your eyes and point kind of section.
Yep, that's.
I don't know what to think about this fucking section. I think it's super funny that Ryan Smith and Justin Stranger are playing against each other. They're super familiar with each other. Justin Stranger used to play with Ryan Smith's brother as a pro partner.
Sean Smith.
I don't know what to think about that. I think that Landon Crabtree having to play most likely Ryan Hart in game 2, it's a really tough draw. I think I like the winner of whoever wins those 2 to take on Jaden Ellis. Ellis is, again, man, it's so tough because you just don't know how these guys are going to do at like a signature event. Like, I know I've said this before, but like, it's just a different feel. Like everyone's there. You're going to get everybody's A game. And Jaden Ellis has been a phenomenal player in high school. He's done very well in opens, but he hasn't been to the big boy like show yet.
No, yeah, he's always kind of like dipped off. Like he's done well in like the juniors. And
so
stuff like that.
I'm going to give the nod to either Crabtree or Hart to make it past, but we all know how talented Jaden Ellis is, and he could win the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we got Zach Aiken. He's got just a lovely little draw here. He's going to probably face off against Sarah Cassidy.
Which isn't fun, but...
No, and Cassidy could be interesting, but she's just so inconsistent. You just don't know which version of her you're going to get.
I mean,
every time I want to put her as like the number 2 to Cheyenne, like she falls off and doesn't do shit.
She lives and dies by the airmail.
But she can be very, very talented, but Zach Aiken is very, very good. We got to see it firsthand.
Yeah,
kid's phenomenal.
He's going to force her to have to hit airmails, and that's not fun.
And really, the bottom is like, what do we do here? Which Caleb Batson are we getting?
Yeah.
I don't know, because if KB from last year, Kaylee Hunter's going to run through that.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I like Kaylee out of this subsection.
But my thing is, how much has Kaylee been playing Heat, too?
That's true. Yeah,
I don't know.
Seed, but does she take like kind of the Jamie Graham approach and just like only plays locally and doesn't?
That's a weird comparison there.
Right?
I like that.
Weird.
I just don't know what to think about that, but I hope we see KB return to form because it's just more fun when guys are good.
For sure.
Next subsection down, Ty Thompson is going to wait for the winner of Jackson Remick and Ty Lopez, and then Austin Waskow is going to wait for the winner of DLE and Tyler Goodwin. I hate this because 2 of like my rookie of the year, like kind of like dark horses are in the same fucking subsection. Give me Ty Thompson. I'm going to roll deep. I think that just if you can get through Jackson Remick or Ty Lopez, I think he's just going to catch lightning in a bottle and he's going to go. But I think the matchup against him and Austin would be very, very good.
Give me Dia.
I don't remember. Did they have to face off against each other when we went to the TCL event? Because Austin was there because we interviewed him. I don't remember if Ty faced off against him or not that day.
I don't know. We'll have to go back and check on that. But I'm going to take Dia Lee out of this subsection.
Oh, you really?
I'm going to take her.
All right, why not? That would be fun though.
I'd love to see her just run the gambit through there.
All right,
and again, round limited. I think that's kind of her sauce. She's such a competitor.
So my finals picks here in the quarterfinals, I have Richards versus Almanza, Justin Burton Jr. versus Power, Tony Smith versus Hart, and Aiken versus Ty Thompson. The semifinals, I have Richards versus JBJ and Smith versus Aiken.
I like it.
Yep.
I dig it.
I'm going to be pissed if Ty Thompson wins the whole fucking thing because I called the upset, but I didn't pick him.
He didn't believe in him quite enough, though, Sean.
All right, so we got the seed bracket. We got Ethan Walker sitting as the number 1 seed. I don't see a whole lot of threats in here outside of Shibby to beat him. David Brown's a name we mentioned him before in doubles. Keep an eye on him. I think he would give Shibby a very good match to round 2, but Shibby's a pro, man. He's been here, done that. I think he's going to grind. He's had some success in the round limited format before. And then there's just Ethan Walker. So I think it's just whoever's just on that day is going to win that one. Very true. You get Braden Wilson, who is most likely going to face off Jacob Gore. The game 2 will sign me up for that match.
Yes.
2 of the best juniors players in the country facing off in the second round. Winner of that match is probably going to win this subsection.
I agree.
Possibly the bracket.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of the way down, I think those are the two.
I think so.
2 1As in that for sure.
The next subsection down, we've talked about Bryce Forbes a whole lot this episode. He's waiting for the winner of Isidro Herrera and Dawn Fay. I do not love the fact that he might have to face somebody like Isidro in the second round.
Yeah,
but then I just kept telling myself, like, if he's as good as he was this past weekend, it's not going to matter anybody.
No.
It's not going to matter anyways. The match that I'm more interested in the second round is Quinn Reeves versus Kyle Malone. If that happens, I think that it's a very interesting contrast of styles. You have Quinn Reeves, rookie this year, looking to make a name, going against Kyle Malone, who coming off like a little bit of a lackluster year, but who's had success in 1 pro shootout events before. Where does it happen? I don't know. Kyle Malone is one of those guys that always shows up at nationals. I just think Quinn is, again, one of those guys for rookie of the year that I think could win it. So I think I end up having Quinn move on, but I'll have to look through.
Yeah, give me Kyle Malone. Just because.
Really? We'll side that.
In that little one, though.
All right, if they face
Forbes
each other.
Taking it down.
If they face each other.
Yeah, give me Malone against
all right, Reeves?
over
all right,
Quinn.
all right, side bet.
Why not?
Next beer.
Oh.
All right. This next one, Josiah Aragwin is the 12th seed. He's facing off against the winner of Chad Hunt and Rosie Streaker. Yeah, Chad Hunt's just really good, man. Like, he's just really good, and he's got like that little cut and roll, and he can be a little bit of a problem. I wonder because he plays with
sneaky.
sticky
He's
bags.
a 21 seed, so
yeah.
Like, he's just kind of snuck in there. But yeah, I definitely think he can be a little upset guy throughout
100%.
here.
I think when it comes down to it, it's not going to matter. There's a guy named Matt Guy at the bottom.
Yeah.
I think he's just going to win the subsection.
But sign me up for Matt Guy versus Trevor Brooks.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Let's go.
Who do you take?
I'm going to take Matt Guy.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
It's Matt Guy. It's still hard to bet against him in any matchup. Like,
fair enough. All right.
I also think Trevor Brooks probably has a little bit of respect for Matt Guy.
Very true. All right, as we jump over the east side, sitting atop of the bracket is Jacob Trzynski. Trzynski, just a fire competitor. He stepped up his game each year. Prior to last season, the narrative was he was like a good player, but he was like an elite doubles guy.
Yeah.
Definitely flipped the narrative last year. He's just a phenomenal player across the board. I don't see a whole lot of people outside of Derek Holland really giving him a challenge in this.
No, I mean, I said it early on. I think Trzynski is poised to make that big jump this year. And I think that big jump's going to come from singles more than doubles.
Okay.
I think we've already seen him be at the top in doubles. I'm ready for it to.
I don't think this is his. I don't think this is his best format though. for
it's
singles.
not. No. It's not.
Like, I
but
think he's going to do fine in doubles, but I think in singles.
He's got the game to get through this section.
Oh, no. Yes, I completely agree. But I think him versus Derek Holland, it was when it starts to get interesting.
Yes.
As you drop down, I actually wrote down a guy like Owen Crick, who has a first round bye, might just be in the toughest position. In the second round, he's most likely going to face Cheyenne Bubenheim. Owen is a really talented player, but would you want to play your first game against Cheyenne, who's already warmed up, and you're sitting cold?
Honestly, like Cheyenne, it's hard to bet against her in this subsection right now.
Well, I did a little research too. Owen also had a bye in the last event. Okay. He lost his first round. He lost in the second round after sitting.
To Cheyenne?
Not to Cheyenne, but just in general. He sat in the first game, had a bye, went in, lost first one. So I think that it's going to probably be Cheyenne versus Levi Haddock. I think Haddock is just really good.
You can't count out Alan Rawls in there either.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. Actually, I think that's who I actually have.
And give me Alan Rawls over Levi Haddock in that second round just because Alan Rawls is that seasoned vet. In round limited, I just think he's going to be a tough out.
Well, I think I wrote, Alan Rawls versus Levi Haddock in round 2 is a matchup we have to be happy is round limited. These guys can get locked in. It wouldn't shock me if the standard game went 30 plus rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so
I can definitely see that.
It's really just who makes that one mistake that's going to kind of kill. The only reason I'm going with Levi there is just because the kid's going around playing everywhere.
He is.
Alan's just not playing as much, so maybe he's just a little bit sharper in this first one. That's all. I still
just like to hold that accreditation of being a pro just that much higher.
Yep.
And especially for as long as he's been doing it at the level he's been doing it.
Very true.
So give me the experience.
All right. So sitting in the third seed is Jeremiah Ellis's double partner, Devin Harbaugh. Sits as a 3 seed in this bracket. Outside of Philip Lopez Jr., I don't really see a path where he doesn't advance to the quarterfinals at worst.
It's kind of what I'm seeing, unless he slips up against Belvin. If Belvin
let's put this out here now. If he doesn't make it to the quarterfinals, it's a lackluster performance.
For sure. Yeah. He needs to win his first 2 matches.
If you want, again, every time we try to anoint you as putting you in a top 10 or a top 5 player, you fall off. I'm ready. We're all ready. We all like you. We want you to do well. He just needs to get over the fucking hurdle. Maybe it's just a giant curse. Maybe when Harbaugh gets over it, then Kano's going to win one.
Yeah.
And it's going to be anarchy.
Open the floodgates.
Matt Guy will finally win a singles title. You know what I mean? It's just
boom.
Be crazy.
Huzzah.
All right. Next subsection down, we got Hunter Thorson. Sneaky names here, Dylan Turpin and Tyler Stratton. I don't think Jamie Graham, who's sitting at the bottom of this as 6 seed, would be thrilled that he has to play Turpin in that second his first game.
Thrilled at all seeing that that matchup right there.
Honestly, seeing a matchup like that. Now, if he gets past Turpin, I think he cruises.
Yes.
But coming off the bench, we've seen Graham lose before, right? It just happens.
We've also seen him lose that game and then come all the way back and make it back.
I'm saying all we can do is predict the winner's bracket, right? It would not shock me to see Jamie Graham lose that first game and go to loser bracket and have to grind his way through and kind of wake him up a little bit. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, Graham could just never lose game.
That's true.
So, is what it is. All right.
Next, last C bracket, but certainly not least.
In the quarterfinals, I had Walker versus Braden Wilson, Reeves versus Matt Guy, Trzynski versus Haddock, and Harbaugh versus Graham. And then semifinals, I have Walker versus Guy and Trzynski versus Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Sweet.
D bracket.
D bracket. Where are we at? There we go.
Single D bracket.
Sammy Soto, we've talked about him on the show. He's number 1 seed in the D bracket.
Who's she?
Really, really talented guy. You got to really like his bracket. Because the other name that we've talked about before is Chase Lester.
Yeah.
Those two are very familiar with each other. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure Soto has Lester's number. I think this sets up very nicely for Soto to get a game or 2 under his belt, kind of handle business, and then just really roll when the competition starts getting going.
But don't sleep on a fresh Dave Sutton. All right. He hasn't started. The old
Sutton.
Man energy hasn't broke through yet. So you never know.
I mean, he might just
catch lightning in a bottle.
He might offer round. You you just never know, an early bird special or something.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Just a good lager.
Good lager.
A good lager. All right. So we scroll down here.
He gave me a different kind of early bird special.
David Morse, waiting on the winner of Stephen Bernasette and Jason Elliott. Bernasette and Morse, I would love to know how many times those guys have played against each other.
Yeah.
I think Bernasette is just he's not a top 10 player, but he's just always in the mix.
He's somebody that nobody wants to face.
And in this round limited format, again, he's an airmail guy.
Yeah.
If he's feeling it early,
watch out.
And it's not a shot against Morse. Like, obviously, Morse has done very well. He's sitting at a 9 seed. He's got a bye in the first round. I just don't think that he's ever really done anything in like the pro brackets before, like really deep runs. So give me Bernasset. I think Bernasset squeaks by here. And then sitting at the bottom is AJ Sims. I just don't see him getting a whole lot of competition. I think it's going to be a Bernasset versus Sims to see who goes in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. But you're wrong, though. Give me Morse.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. You just
I think he's actually been throwing much better this year.
Okay.
And,
well, I mean, obviously. What is he throwing? Is he Logic?
Yeah, I think he's Logic.
Okay.
And
that's right.
Yeah, he seems to be enjoying the bags, and
I'm getting everything
he's been going
like,
to. He's actually been
everything blending together. Did we see him at an early ass regional this year? Like, was it this season?
Yeah,
that we
I think
saw
it was like
the
it's
first
right around
regional
Christmas.
of the year, right? Okay,
Yeah, he always comes to town for that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I couldn't remember. That's why I'm like, I remember because he was playing with some random kid from Michigan, I believe, that I didn't know who it was.
Yeah.
And he ended up doing well. And I was trying to remember what bags he was throwing. Yeah, I believe it was Logic, though. Okay. All right. So next subsection down, we got Jackson Gore. He's facing off against Fisher Hamilton and Allison Springer, the winner of that match. This whole subsection is loaded.
It sucks, man. Like, there's
Jackson
so many
Gore,
big names.
Fisher Hamilton, Jeremiah Ellis, Frank Modlin, and Matthew Sorrells. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
I mean, you gotta love it if you're Jeremiah, like in the mix with some stiffer competition, get through it, then feel like you're riding high. But I wouldn't want to face Jackson Gore right now.
I think a guy like Jeremiah, this is very good because he wants to be on his game from the minute.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is gonna get you, like, sharpen you up, get you ready to move forward. But like, I wouldn't want to face Jackson Gore right now.
The only thing that gives me pause with Jackson again is round limited.
It is. Yeah.
I don't know. And again, I don't know if Fisher is really, really talented, but I agreed. Jackson Gore has been throwing among the best in the country, and he's been the most consistent this year. And I think he's poised to win like comeback player of the year or breakout player.
We'll see. I mean, he's starting off well. See if he can bring it into the signature realm.
Who do you like between Modlin and Sorrells?
Give me Modlin.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
I go Sorrells all day.
I just think round limited Modlin's pretty beastly.
That's true.
And we haven't seen Sorrells in a minute, so
it's just weird not seeing Frank's name a lot. I don't know if he's just not traveling quite as much, but like, just
he's still 13th seed, so he's been traveling enough to at least earn that.
Very true. The next subsection down, we got Ian Cripps sitting as a 12 seed, waiting on Carter Bennett and Tice Cobb. And at the bottom, we have Adam Hissner. You might have heard of her. Waiting on Steve Schroeder and Brendan Davis. I think that this is a Hissner versus Cripps situation here.
Yeah.
I think Hissner is going to the first one, and he's been around the league long enough to know that the numbers of pros are getting cut down to 100 next year. Starting off,
he's going to be out for blood.
Yeah, because if you win this first one, you're kind of fucking set. Like, you don't have to worry about it. You really don't. Because one of the other notes I wrote down, it was on the first page. Let me find it. I wrote that things that matter. Pro standings are going to consist of the top 4 signature finishes and the top 2 open finishes.
Yeah.
So if you go out, there's 6 of them. If you go out and win one, like or do it very, very well, you're setting yourself up for success. But you go out there and won and you shit the bed, you're losing out on opportunities to then go back, and you're putting added pressure on yourself to go back and do well.
So true.
I think some people going into this one, if they're like, if I don't do well, it's fine. There's 5 others.
I think a lot of people
the wrong
rely
mindset
on
to
the.
have.
A lot of people are relying on like, oh, it's round limited though, like as like the brush off for this.
I'm telling you, I think that people would be very smart to go in there and attack and do very well in this first one, and it's just going to set you up for success, not just for next season, but for this season.
Yeah.
If you go out and shit the bed and you're going to have a shitty draw next time, you're fucking yourself. We've seen it happen time and time again. That's one of the reasons that was the biggest complaint with pros about having random draws in this first national.
Yeah.
I fucking loved random draw. It was so exciting, but every year,
chaotic.
Every year we saw 2 or 3 guys, or I guess it would be like 4 to 6 people, really kind of get screwed because they all had to face each other.
Yeah.
And then there would be whole chunks of the bracket where like you had never heard of anyone before.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
No longer.
All right.
Using them open standing, Sean.
Number 2 seed, the top seed on the east side of the bracket, we have Cash Chamness, the 9-year-old whiz kid, waiting on Vincent Frisch and Brady Foster. I think this is like such a great match for Cash to have, like his first one. Both like younger dudes, that he go face against. I don't think he's going to be like intimidated at all.
Ease the nerves a little bit.
Yeah, I think Cash is going to do very well. I think that stylistically, If Sebastian Schaefer Ford is playing up to his level, I think he wins the subsection.
I agree, because he's
just stylistically round limited. I think
if he's splashing airmails, he's hard to beat.
Yeah, and that's the kind of style that might be able to get to somebody younger, right? Like we're just getting frustrated a little bit. But again, I'm hoping he's healthy. It's a good point. I kind of forgot about that stuff.
Yeah. Best for him.
Clayton Kennedy is sitting at the 10 seed. I'm no shade, but I've never heard of him before.
Who's he playing with? He's playing with a bigger name.
Yeah, it's no shot at all. I just am not super familiar. Waiting on the winner of Riker Wells and Corey Gilbert. And then sitting at the bottom, we have Ethan Farias waiting on the winner of Alex Hicks and Gina Ramirez. I'm going to give the nod here. I think I gave the nod here to Alex Hicks.
Okay.
I just think it's time to fucking show up. I'm sick and tired of hearing how great this kid is, and he hasn't done shit in nationals. So come out and do something. This is just round limited. We're not asking you to play a 60 round fucking match against Matt Guy.
Yeah, you just
and pull out these miracle airmails. I just want 12 really good rounds out of you.
Yeah.
Can you give us that? Because we all know how good you can be. Now, unfortunately, he's going against one of our favorite people, Gina Ramirez.
Very true.
And Gina's not going to fuck around.
And I think she's built for round limited too. She's another one. Her game is kind of geared towards that airmail kind of stuff. So
I think if I had to pick one name, again, I'm going either Hicks or Riker Wells is another one.
Yeah.
Right up there. And Ethan Farias has been very, very good too. But again, I'm just giving Hicks has been there to a national event before. We're gonna let that count. We'll push him through.
Okay.
As we scroll down, I don't know what to think about Ryan Trader. I think obviously he's a 3 seed. He's done very well. But when it comes down to it, and now we're at our first signature event, they got rid of the one thing, like he can't step over the line anymore. He did have to change it a little bit. Mm-hmm. Will that affect it? I don't know. Maybe by now he's gotten it out of his system and he's completely good, but
I think he's still really good.
Oh yeah, for sure. Are we going to see him dominate like we did last year? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Other names in this bracket, we have Jimmy Humans and Jeff Reynolds. Easy sitting there, but Ryan Trader, it's hard not to just pick him to kind of stroll right through here.
That's what I'm thinking, unless a crafty veteran like Jeff or Jimmy can go through and take him on. But
Jeff's got to get through Jimmy first.
It is just kind of funny, though, because you have like Ryan Trader, this young buck, at number 3, and then all of these like OGs. That
I know.
and honestly, I'm throwing Humans and Emfer in as OGs
for sure.
as well. Like, there's just a whole bunch of these old boys in there. It's awesome.
Sitting at the 11 seed, we have Jason Rubin waiting on Austin Kipple and Fathsem. And then we have Logan Dupler at the 6th seed waiting on Zach Akins and Josh Neville. Dupler versus Akins is going to be just disgusting, I think. I don't know what to think about Rubin. He's never been a tremendous singles player. He's always been very steady.
I think Dupler's the kind of guy, though, that can frustrate Rubin.
Oh, I picked Dupler to win this subsection. Yeah. And I know, like, the charm is there. Rubin's a big name, but Dupler's been doing really well all season.
He doesn't care about his name.
Yeah, I don't think he gives a shit. I mean, apparently how the kid dressed doesn't give a shit about life.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Kind of like what I think will frustrate Rubin.
Yeah, for sure.
Bit, in all honesty.
Yeah, exactly. So,
it's like, who is this kid?
Completely agree. All right, so my finals of that for the D bracket. The quarterfinals, I have Soto versus Bernasette. I have Jackson Gore versus Hissner, and Schaefer Ford versus Hicks, and then Trader versus Dupler. The semifinals, I have Soto versus Hissner, and then Dupler versus Schaefer Ford. So I have Schaefer Ford, I'm hoping,
makes the run.
So that is that. That is just a whole lot of shit to go through.
It is.
Hope you guys buckled up. I'm excited to see it. Unfortunately, this weekend, I'm going to be out of town most of the day Saturday. Friday, I should have a good opportunity. I'll be driving, so I'm going to actually try to get my wife to be like, hey, I love you. Can you drive so I can watch some of this shit? And I know she will because she
likes to drive too, helps with the motion sickness.
Yeah, but the nice part is that's one of the charms about it being live streamed. I can just go back and watch it again.
That's true. Yeah,
I'll just go back and watch. And guess what? If it's a match I don't give a shit about, I just kind of scroll my finger. Scrub. Yeah, exactly. And just go watch the matches. And or people will message us and be like, hey, you got to go back and watch this match. If that happens, if you can give us a timestamp, really appreciate it.
Timestamps, like even a ballpark. A ballpark.
For sure.
Goes a long way.
But shout out to all the big ass players this weekend. I hope you guys kick ass. I want you guys to dominate.
Who's out of all of the big ass players? Who do you think has the best shot
to win it?
Yeah.
I mean, I would say either
I'm going to say all of them.
Ellis or Kingsbury.
Every last one of them has the chance, Sean.
Well, yeah, obviously. That was such a cop-out. You're such a pussy.
I know. I don't know why you don't take
well, actually, no. I'm rocking out with Mike Hoffman right now. I got his jersey. I got his little shirt on. Hoffman. Who's just a great logo. Hoffman. Great logo, Mick. Love it. All right. So, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Let's cue the rap horn and we'll go through all that stuff.
Oh, we already cued the rap horn in our episode. No, we didn't.
Oh, Dane got a little saucy with that one.
You like that one? Yeah.
All right, reach us at Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube at Big Ass Cornhole.
And Facebook, the last one left, at Big Ass Cornhole Podcast. Thanks again to Draggin Bags.
Just, I can't get over enough. Like, we threw 3 different bags.
And we threw great with all of them?
Exactly.
Because they
if that's not a ringing endorsement,
thrower.
what
exactly.
is people? Like,
we suck at this game. I threw over 8s.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. If that's about as glowing of a recommendation as I can give.
Yep.
Like, I had a game over 9.
Yep.
Okay.
Bingo.
With bags that I had never picked up before.
Nothing wrong with
They're
them.
very good.
So join the crew over at Draggin Bags. Drop code BIGASS12 at checkout and get yourself some sweet heat today.
And if you're looking to support the show and get bonus content, if you go to patreon.com/bigasscornhole for the price of a beer a month, you can help us continue to do what we're doing. I just posted up the singles breakdown. I'm being completely honest, I'm a little under the weather. I'm going to try to get the doubles breakdown up tomorrow. It just depends on work, but it'll be up at some point. And then we post the video versions of all of our episodes, including the interviews. We are going to start posting some bonus interviews. Our goal was to have an interview this week and post two. The problem is everyone's getting ready to travel and stuff. I just didn't want to hound anybody.
And we traveled ourselves, so
I have guests booked up for like the next 3 weeks. I'm going to try to book up another guest along those 3 weeks so we start dropping 2 episodes a week again. Now that the season is fully underway and we have stuff to talk about.
Underwear.
Haha. Wow. Awesome. So
you're welcome.
So next week we'll obviously recap all the results from this stuff. We're going to be joined by we'll see. I think it's going to be Gavin Cano. Hopefully, me and him had a little chat over beforehand. So I hope he wins
and pray.
Yeah,
wing and a prayer.
Yeah, so it'll be more audio gold. But hope you guys enjoy all the action this weekend. Safe travels to all the pros out there. And as always, we hope you throw it straight. It's nothing but 4 baggers from here on out.
Cornhole it.
Later.